It's still got the morning. Hi and good evening. Welcome to this very special Tottenham Tantrum Gold stream. We're doing the transfer deadline day with me, myself, Dermot, Tottenham Tantrum, and I actually don't know what you look like.
I'm the newest member of the Bee Gees.
You look like. All right, yes, it is the news.
That's the only transfer that's happening today. I have joined the Bee Gees.
We've got a new member. It's called Ben the BG Man. Right. And also we've got joining us this evening is Mark. Good evening, Mark. How are you?
Good evening. How are we?
Yeah, not too bad.
We're
not
alive.
too bad at all. Very quickly, lads, just start with you, Ben. What's your thought on the transfer window so far?
I mean, it's been ups and downs from everyone, but in terms of a Tottenham transfer window, it's a 6 out of 10. We've got rid of all the deadwood out of the team. We haven't made full improvements to the squad that we need, but getting rid of those 3 idiots is something to be happy about. But we could never really be happy. But all in all, it's a very average transfer window. We've survived to live another day.
It is. And Mark, are you glad to see them 3 go out? And you're happy with the business we've done, or would you have liked to see more?
I still think we'll get another midfielder, hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully.
Now,
we've got 3 spaces.
Yeah, we have now, and that's something we will get into. And also joining us, fresh from the protest. I mean, this is fresh from the protest today. Very quickly, Mr. K, how are you? And how do you think the transfer window's been so far?
While we were there at the actual stadium, while we were there at Hotspur Way, we were getting reports constantly coming through regarding whether it's this player or that player. There were journalists there as well that popped in, BBC journalists, so they were keeping us informed as well of what the latest rumours were, what was coming through. So we kind of got a little bit of an inside ear as to what was going on. And pretty much, I think pretty much lastminute.com, what you expect Levy to do, the board to do, is to get rid of players in the last minute, bring players in the last minute. Now, there may have been a domino effect going on. You know, the other team has to get someone to replace their players before they can accept our players or something like that, whatever it would be. There normally would be a domino effect. This is so reminiscent of how every single transfer window goes that you really can't see the effect of strategy other than the choice of the players, right? In terms of how it's processed, in terms of how it's gone through, it doesn't seem any different from any other season. So that tells me that the board still have gotten great influence over how and when we purchase players. Okay. Yeah. Now, in terms of, so that's kind of a good thing that we got some players in. We got players out, and we saw Tanganga leave early in the morning, about 8:30, 8:45. We saw Dele Alli leaving the Hotspur Way literally 20 minutes after him. Okay. So we saw the players that had come in, and we saw the players that were leaving very, very early. And those are the 2 players that left extremely early. Okay. So there was no one else that really came in like 2 that had left after them, other than at 3:00 when all the players are going home. So we got an inkling of that some work had not been finished. Like, for example, why was Tanganga leaving so early?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not too sure how the transfer window works when it comes to loaning players out like Tanganga, but realistically, I don't want to lose him. I'd rather keep him in the squad and gain the experience. And fair enough, maybe in summer, reevaluate the situation, send him out for a year on maybe a lower team in the Premier League, right? Or maybe a team in the Championship, so he gets week in, week out and regularly develops himself. But you're going to need if you're going to bring him back, then the team may be playing a 3-4-3, which means that you'll have to send him out to a team that will be able to put him in a 3-man defensive setup, because the 3-man defensive setup is so different from a regular 2-man defensive setup. So I think that's the only stipulation on that side of it. But in terms of players, I think you have to be happy to a certain degree that Dele left. I think there's a lot of fan noise, by the way, coming from yourself, Dermot. I'm not too sure. You want to just put yourself on mute for 1 second? Just put yourself on mute for 1 second.
You're not on Tottenham Tantrum Gold stream if there isn't an airplane in the room.
Dude, you don't know the difference it makes. K. Listen, Dermot, just keep your finger on the mute, right? So when you need to come out of it, just click out of it. Sometimes I'm talking, right, and I forget to take myself off mute because I have the same issue. But thanks, Ben. Oh, my days, now I can hear. So basically, in a nutshell, I think if you stand back and you look at this January transfer window compared to most January transfer windows, this is kind of shocking. This is not what a club doesn't normally do. This bring in 2 players and push out 3. That's a total turnaround of 5 players. And for a January transfer window, I think that's unheard of. When was the last time we ever did anything like that on a January transfer window? So it seems to me that this season, we've got Conte coming in lastminute.com. The fans have put pressure on the board, and he brings in Conte. We put pressure on him again, and all of a sudden we get 5-player turnaround. So I think this idea that not protesting, like protesting means nothing, I don't think that's right. I think protest does do something. It lets management know that we are aware of what's going on. We're not just going to turn the other cheek. I do believe that as far as protesting is concerned, look, people are going to be passionate. They're going to go online and be passionate. And literally, it's going to rain. They're going to say it's Levy's fault. Yeah. Why? Because he's become a meme. Literally. I mean, we know at the end of the day, if the rain comes down, it's got nothing to do with Levy, right? But it becomes a meme. Right? So everything that happens, we call it Levy. And that becomes a meme. So if you have the internet and you have social media and you're allowed to do memes, why can't we? So I think to myself, if you can keep yourself laughing a little bit, have a little bit of levity as well, then you'll get through all the hard sort of times that are coming up, because you don't get necessarily the support that you think you get. So look, I'm happy with the transfer window. Did we get any solid players coming in? The answer is no. Why am I happy? Because we finally given Dele Alli somewhere to go. We finally given Lo Celso somewhere to go. And Gil, he needed regular football. So finally, he's going out to get some regular football, which is fantastic. That's all you really want. Yeah. So I think I think transfer window wise, it's good for a January. Did we get what we want? Well, Conte's going to find out. Right? If he's not happy come summertime, then we'll all know that it was all bogus. Yeah. I personally like the 2 players coming in. I like Benteke, Kulusevski. So I think generally speaking, I like those 2 players. Are they going to come in and do a Van der Vaart on us? The answer is no, not yet. But we can train them up under Conte. What better manager to train them? What better manager to mold them into the new type of playing systems that are out there that most managers like to pick on? Remember a few years back, there used to be like 4-3-3 was the big rage. Then before that, it was 4-2-3. The 4-2-3 and the 4-3-3, that used to be the 2 famous formations that were new and upcoming. And the old system was 4-4-2. Right? Now we're getting to the stage where it's like 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 or whatever it is. And managers that like to use a playing style of moving the ball around, they prefer this particular system. So I think... Sorry.
You can't hear my telly in the background. Sorry. You can't hear my telly in the background, can you?
I can slightly hear it.
Yeah, but it's minor. It's very minor, though. I just thought... I said something. Ben, that's a lovely suit you're wearing. What's going on?
Yeah, it's all right. I'm
the
either
Dickie
a
bow as
rabbi
well, bro.
or the newest member of the Bee Gees.
Yeah. I mean, what's the impression that you guys have got so far of the transfer window? I mean, I've just given you my 2 pence. I'm not too sure how I feel until tomorrow, to tell you the truth.
I'll let Dermot say something before I go on that one.
Yeah.
I just want to welcome in these few people here. If I'll hit them, Ben, you can read out the one for us, if you don't mind.
Evening, Moondog. Yeah, I'm dressed up for one. It's a shame it's not. It's a shame we haven't got what's it called? Some world-class players, but we've got some decent players.
I had somebody on YouTube, right? Yeah. Sorry, I had somebody on Twitter, right? Yeah. Follow me.
Evening, Wayne.
And they had the same picture of Wurzel Gummidge, right? But with a Union Jack in the background. So I wrote him a message saying, "Are you Moondog?" He goes, "No." I said, "Okay." But I've not seen it. The second person to have a Wurzel Gummidge picture. Wayne Bonner's in the house.
That's
Wayne.
me. I'm Wurzel Gummidge.
So evening, Wayne. Wayne is saying it. Evening, fellas. There seems to be a nasty rumour around that we've got 2 players in and cleared out 4 on loan. I mean, depends what it depends what point of view you want to take it from. Either we've taken out the 4 cancerous, 3 of the cancerous players from the club, which is brilliant. because now our squad is now in the right place to be built into a proper team with a proper unit with no terrible cancerous players in that dressing room. But if you want to look at it from that's Daigle's angle, he's fully right that we should be replacing four players with 4 players. But but we're not in the Conference League anymore. We're not in the Carabao Cup final. We're only in the Premier League and the FA Cup. So we should have enough players with youth players to fill the rest of the year. But that's what I think. Derek's saying, good evening, gents. Evening, Derek.
I'm glad you're reading them. I can't even see.
Wayne, good to see Ali and Ndombele and Lo Celso go out on loan. I still think there may be at least one. Maybe. We don't know. I mean, all the journos are saying we're probably done for the rest of the window, but you never know. Until the clock strikes 11, everything is speculation.
We've got Phil here.
I can definitely hear the telly, Mark, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Right, I'll
it's not. It's that machine gun.
Sky Sports News.
Yeah, we've got Phil here. 4 out, 2 in. Can't be great for overall squad. That's something we will talk about in a minute. So that's a great talking point, Phil. Thanks.
Just get me glasses.
Derek Hutchinson, 4 out, 2 in again. We have here Shamu. Good morning, good evening, Shamu. Says Ali Gold has said no more business for Spurs. Wayne Bonner. As much as I do respect Ali Gold, I more would listen to Paul O'Keefe. He seems to be more on the money. But I think Tottenham might try to get one more in. There is 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 5 seconds left of the window. So you never say never. And then
there you go.
Says, LOL, only one Moondog, yeah. And last day we've got Wayne Bonner. I'm happy we've got rid of those needed to go. We'll have a more settled squad for the rest of the season. Always a very good thing. How are you, Mr. K? Mr. K, now you've been out all morning. Sorry, Ben, I've got to say this first. This is important. We'll get this out. You've been at the protest all day this morning. Firstly, can I say thank you from myself, Ben, and Mark, and all Tottenham fans who are leaving out for what you are all doing.
No. Listen, guys. I'm grateful to have the opportunity that I had free time. I didn't have obligations, especially on a Monday. It's school term. So I was very fortunate. I was very grateful to have that opportunity. And my number one reason for going is always to represent everyone that's out there that cannot go. Whether you're in another country or for some reason you're unable to go, we are there to represent you. We are the physical representation at the protest to represent you. Do not listen to people that may say, oh, where was everyone else? No, you were there in spirit. You were there tweeting and retweeting stuff that we were posting. So everyone's doing their work. You can't just have a protest that's just people turning up and that's all that there is to a protest. There's much more to it. There are people supporting those people that the protest. There's people sending them blankets, or whether there's people sending food out there, or whether people are going on to We Are Tottenham TV and making donations so that food can go there, or that something can go there to help them. Everyone is doing their bit, even if you are wishing in your heart for something to happen, even if you're praying for that or wishing in your heart, you're doing something, and all that good intention is coming to us, is feeding us to be there. Like I said, we are fortunate to be there, right? Due to our timetables, circumstances, and so forth, right? So don't think that we're doing anything super special. It's not. Any one of you guys would do exactly the same thing if given the right circumstances. Trust me, right? But you have obligations. You may have a business to run. You may have a shop to run. You may have the family or the kids. You can't just shut up shop and just go. That's just not right. Maybe it's too far away. I mean, I traveled it took me an hour and 50 minutes to get there, just shy of 2 hours. Actually, no, that last walk was a killer. That was like 28 minute walk to get there. So there was a bit of a dirty walk at the end, but that was the last train station that was nearby. I think if you had a car, it's a lot easier, but then, not everyone's gifted with those things, unfortunately. But there were people there to help us out, to maybe like drive us to the station and back afterwards. But it's good to get that sort of connection. There are many people that don't get the opportunity to turn up. And that's perfectly okay. Honestly, I think it's perfectly okay. Feel good in your hearts that people represented you, because that's all we're there for. We're there to represent you and ourselves, of course, since we're there. We get to have our picture taken. You guys don't. I wish I could be there with all the names that I see in the chat, like to bring them up to show people, what? These are the people we come here to represent, right? And I know, for example, Brian Daigle's a very passionate sort of man. And he is going to get despondent with maybe people telling him I'm going to be there and then maybe not turning up. I think that if you're not going to turn up, then maybe send a message like pretty much beforehand.
Just say you're not turning up. Brian's a man of his word. He likes people that say they're going to do something and then do it. He's that sort of guy.
I mean, I was late. I was late getting there. I was supposed to leave my house at 6 a.m, right? I didn't leave my house till 7, so I was like an hour late getting there. And I know, I was supposed to hook up with Graham. And he was well peed off. He was waiting up Waltham stove for me, but it was like, look, we're all there to support each other.
Yeah.
And I tell you the truth, there were just so many people brought their own sandwiches and stuff, and we shared them all with everyone. And they were still there at the end. There was still plenty of food, and we had so many people coming and so going. I think that's the other thing, is that the deception of the numbers is that people come and people go throughout the day. So it looks like there's just one group of people, but in reality, the people are coming, people are leaving. They're staying for a couple of hours, they've got to go. And then towards the end, we had something in the region around about 40 people there in one go. I think the BBC reported us as having 50, right?
Are they still there? Are they still there now?
No. What happened is that we were genuinely expecting there to be a lot more people turning up at 6 o'clock. And the BBC had actually decided to broadcast at 6:30. Right. And then what happened is, because we didn't get enough people coming at that time, Brian Daigle got a little bit, despondent, because the guy's been there every single day. He's been there every single day from the morning. You're going to get tired. You're going to be cold. The last week, the weather has not been that nice. I mean, maybe if you're in the London Valley, that's different. But when you're all the way out there, near Hotspur Way, trust me, when it gets nippy, it can get really nippy. So, he's put up with that. And he's done it all for as long as he's been there from Canada. He's done it. And there's been a lot of talk that's been sent to him, messages sent to him saying, listen, you know what, geezer, come the last day of the transfer window, we're going to be there. Who is this we anyway? So the thing is, what I like the most is the viewers that are here, and the views that come on my show, and the views that come on like Will Stewart's show. A lot of these viewers, right, they're consistently there giving us support. Honestly, look, Wayne Bonner, right, he would be at the bloody protest if he could be there. He's that type of fella, right? So, I remember having a chat with Wayne about a year and a half ago, and what we both discussed, and because we're like more mature fellas, right, we looked around at the younger people, right, and we turned around to them and said, look, you know what? They don't really know how long this is going to take. This is going to take years. Look how long it took for them to get Wenger out, And during that time, Wenger was pulling out an FA Cup on a regular basis. Think about that. He's pulling it. They want him out. He pulls out an FA Cup and they go, no, we still want you out. Why? Because the expectation, the aspiration of the fan base is, well, we're winners. We should be going for the league. Right? Their board had done a dirty on them after they bought the stadium. And they weren't telling the fans, by the way, we've done a dirty on you. We're no longer going to be top class anymore. Right? So the same things happened with our board. They've been doing the dirty on us all these years. They have made sure that there's hardly any mention of 61. Hardly any mention of winning cups and leagues. I mean, I don't want to go about this too much, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, because it is a transfer show. We do actually need to get back to the transfer show.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd rather move on, to tell you the truth, because it's going to get messy otherwise.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. There will be a link put in later, but at the moment it's just the four of us, but we will put the link in. I just got a couple of people to say hello to. We've got Toxic Headshot. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us. Mr. K's 100% right. We've got Aaron, my Irish brother. Hi, Aaron. Aaron Dobb. Thanks for being there, Kay. Saw you, Rez, and Kim on Bob's BBC clip. Yeah, I heard about that. Congratulations. Ellie, the link will be put in later. Be patient with us, but we're just gonna stay the four of us, and then we'll put the link in the next hour to see what you think of all the transfer window. We've got White Hart Lane. Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us again. And he says, "What a panel! Oh, well, I'm just very lucky. I'm just sad. Coover and Phil can't be here, but they're taking a well-deserved night off. They're taking a well-deserved night off.
They've gone up the pub.
I'm just surrounded by greatness between Ben, Mr. K, and Mark. I mean, what a great panel to be with. We've got Ellie saying, "Okay, thanks, Ellie," and then White Lane. Ben, love your outfit. Yeah,
you know what? You've outshone us, bro. Please tell me you're going on a sexy date.
No. I wish I was.
Girls, I told him to wear,
available.
I told him to wear the yellow tie. That's what he should have worn, the yellow tie.
I think the blue goes. I think the navy goes quite nice. Tell you the truth.
Yeah,
it goes nice with the colour of the
suit. I've got my waistcoat. I'm ready to go on a blues bar.
I think if he went yellow, right? Yeah, like gold or yellow. A gold would be all right as long as you wore a gold handkerchief.
Yeah.
Right, and gold cufflinks, then gold would be working well. But I think.
But anyway, let's get on with this. Right, we'll start with Tottenham first. That's who we support. So Tottenham's incomings are Bentancur from Juventus for an underclosed. I think that worked out. What was it? 19 million? Was it, Ben?
19 million.
19 million. And also on loan, we've got what's his name, Ben?
Kulusevski.
Yeah. Now, do you know much about them, Ben? Where they play?
Bentancur is an old-fashioned Uruguayan centre midfielder, which means he works hard, he puts his foot in, he's good at progressing the ball, and he doesn't lose the ball. So he's perfect for this team. He's perfect as a replacement for Højbjerg. I think he's better than Højbjerg. He's Højbjerg almost on steroids because he's good at passing the ball forward. But he's going to have that South American fight to him, and that's what we need in this team. We need two ball winners in midfield who are going to fight for each other. So he's going to be brilliant for us. And it also means Højbjerg can have some. It means Højbjerg doesn't have to play every game, and Skippy doesn't have to play every game because Bentancur can do the Skip role and he can do the Højbjerg role. We can do both roles, so he can play with Skip or he can play with Højbjerg. So Bentancur is a brilliant option for us going forward. Kulusevski is like the brand new De Bruyne. He plays on the right wing, but he's left-footed, so he cuts into the middle. So he can play in the number 10 role, he can play on the right wing role, he can play on the left wing role, he can play anywhere in the front four. He's absolutely perfect for an Antonio Conte system in terms of being able to move about the pitch. I see us going to a 3-4-3 now with Bentancur in there, because Bentancur does that job. We'll play with two aggressive ball winners, and we'll play with Sonny, Kane and Kulusevski up front, with Kulusevski acting as the number 10, the floating player in that team, whereas Sonny will stick closer to Kane. So that's where I see those two players going. And I see the first 11 seems more balanced now with Bentancur in the midfield. He's definitely one to look out for. And it's another South American in the team. So they're gonna fight. And we need fighters in this team.
Right, with an hour and 30 minutes left, an hour and a half left, the Dele Alli deal is close to Dele Alli's close to sign for Everton, but it isn't a done deal yet. But we'll bring you that as soon as it is.
I thought it was done.
Out. No,
here we go. They're doing the medical at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going out. So Neil John to Charlton on loan. Kieran Elliott going to Cheltenham on loan. Dillian McCandy going to Blackburn. Jack Clark's gone to Sunderland on loan. Now, these are the big three now. Tanguay's gone to Lyon on loan with an option to buy. I think, 30 million, is it, Ben, the figure on that one, is it?
For whom?
For Tanguay.
No, it's 65 million is the option.
65 million. Brian Hill has gone on loan to Valencia to the end of the season.
No option to buy.
No, and Lo Celso's gone to Villarreal on loan to the end of the season.
But we don't know if there's an option to buy there.
No, and Dele Alli is 95%. It's a permanent
So a lot
deal.
of people don't understand that with Dele Alli, it's a free transfer. If he plays 20 games, it's £10 million. But with the way the deal is structured, if he does well, the money can go up to £40 million if he does well.
Yeah,
so if he does well, so that's how the deal was being structured. So it's a free transfer. 20 games, 10 million, and it rises depending on how well he does for Everton. I don't know the finer details of the contract because I haven't seen it. I'm not going to
Yeah,
as
but
much as Ellie thinks I am, but
right. My question on that now is: personally, I don't think it's been a good window for us. We've left everything too late. I think we should have got players in sooner. We should have started on the 1st of January. But that's for something later in the show. Mr. K, with the players going out and the 2 players in, did you expect Tottenham to do more business in this window? Or are you not surprised? And then I go to Mark, and then I go to
I don't. I didn't expect them to really, to tell you the truth, do what they've done already, to a certain degree. I think. Just get this. Sorry about this. Oh, there we go. Just trying to get the window right. I'm looking at something else, trying to get the images changed in my background. But yeah, look, he's got the shirt. That's proof. Two players, whether they're on loan or whether they're on permanent, to be brought in. I think we don't do that very often. When did we get Did we get Van der Vaart on the January window? I'm not too sure.
no, it was.
I don't think so.
No.
Right. So basically, on the whole of it, we generally don't do any business or any good business on a January transfer window. That's not just players coming in, but also players going out. So compared to our previous history, we've done fantastic, really. Am I impressed with it? No, I stopped being impressed years ago. You know, people go on about today and this year and maybe 3 months ago or whatever, maybe this year or whatever. I don't go on about that. I've been hurt with Levy's shenanigans 3-4 years ago. And, for me, right, yeah, it's a case of like, I don't need to see any more evidence of what this man does or does not do. But in terms of our club, in terms of what they normally do, something is very different this January. Something is very different. Get 2 players in that people can be reasonably happy with. Get out the players that we feel that maybe are not contributing enough to the squad, that fans would like to moan about. Lo Celso, Delhi. They're good players, but they just haven't fitted into like the mentality or maybe the regularity or whatever it is in the system. It just hasn't worked out. I'm sorry, but it happens. It's best to let them go. Now, when should they have gone? Well, realistically speaking, they should really have gone at the very latest last summer, but they didn't. So at least they're out now. And the question I can ask myself is this really what this football club's really going to do? That they're only going to do things like this when they're, one, put under pressure, and secondly, they're put under the other side of the pressure when they've got a manager putting pressure on them. Because let's face it, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Dele Alli wasn't playing. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Lo Celso just hasn't clicked. So if we can send out Lo Celso on loan, that's good because we've still got another 4 years of paying for him. We still have to pay his, we had him on loan for the first season. We've started to pay for, him like a 5 or 6 million a year. So there's going to be a few years before we finish off paying for him. Go ahead.
Muted, Dermo.
Muted. He's on mute.
So, Rangers have signed Aaron Ramsey on loan.
Yes.
I don't know how long to, but Aaron Ramsey he's still on Juventus books, funnily enough.
Ramsey.
So Aaron Ramsey, but he's now signed for Rangers, I think, to the end of the season, I think. So that's the late breaking news. Sorry, Mr. K, I didn't mean to break in.
No, that's actually interesting news because their previous captain has gone to where? Barcelona? Right? And then one of their, when Aaron Ramsey came into, look, fair enough, he went into the Guna squad. But before he went to the Guna squad, I used to watch this boy play. And he was like a tiger on the field. Then as soon as he got into Arsenal, he broke his leg. He was out for a dirty long time. By the time he came back, the new regime that they had over there, they made him from a tiger into like a skinny bean. So he didn't look as aggressive as he used to. But in terms of his ability to play, top notch. Could we have got that type of player? It would never work.
No.
It just wouldn't work. The fans wouldn't like it. The other fans wouldn't like it. It would just break. But we need someone like that, though. Someone who can put the ball in his feet and get through people. A bit like what Mora tries to do. Sorry, what's the second part of the question? I missed it.
Do you know what? I'll go to Mark very quickly.
Let's move on to Mark instead of easier.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you say, mate?
Mark, you haven't said much, mate.
No.
We'll get you saying now. What have you reckoned of this window, and do you think the 2 players is a start for what we need to do for the future, for the summer?
for me, it's the outgoings that have been the major part.
Yeah.
It's the deadwood, the ones that we didn't want. How much were they on a week?
500k, all of them per week.
My God,
$500,000.
Half a
million pounds a week is out the door.
Well, that's great.
So if we really tried, we'd get Messi in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could
Sorted, Mr. K. We're in Paris tomorrow, my son.
Who's
London
that
City
player in Italy?
Airport.
No, but Messi
player
will
Ben
have to
in
take
Italy?
Messi will have to take a 75% cut on his wages then.
And a packet of Frazzles.
Yeah. How about the Dybala? Do you think we should go for him quickly?
We should go for him in the summer.
Yeah.
We should go for him in the summer. Personally, he wants a signing on fee. He doesn't. According to my friends at Juventus, apparently he's not going to sign that deal. He was going to sign the deal. Everything was agreed. But then Juventus changed the goalpost. They moved the goalpost. They actually said, could you actually take less money? And he's thrown his toys out the pram.
Oh.
So in my personal opinion, this is the views of me, not the views of the show, Dybala will be outside the door of Juventus. So it's whether if there's a PSG that wants to pay his wages, if there's a Man United that wants to pay, it all depends. He's a gettable player on a free transfer. He's absolutely gettable. Whether you try and sign him February 1st on a pre-contract is there to be seen. But Dybala is an available target in the summer. But again, I don't want this to be a Leandro Di Mal syndrome that we're going for him every single season until he's about 70. Like every season, we get Leandro Di Mal this season. We're getting him this year. He's
We're getting him in terms of the geriatric stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark.
Did any of you guys see that tweet from a gentleman who described Bentica because he was Uruguayan? I think his name was Tom Scott or something, right? And what this guy did, right? Yeah, his name's Tom Spur. Sorry, Tom Spur. He's got a picture of Sonny on his profile. This is on Twitter, and he basically says, "So I happen to be from Uruguay, and I've seen Rodrigo Bentica play a lot. I first started watching him when he was 17 and know exactly what kind of player he is. I've seen multiple people give inaccurate descriptions of him, so I'll make a detailed thread here." Now, in the thread, and trust me, it's very detailed thread, right? It goes into a lot of points, and it kind of it demystifies what type of player we're actually getting. You know, I mean, there's many inaccuracies that we've got in terms of what we think he is, and we need to clear in our minds exactly what type of player he is. So basically, he's a player that's similar in terms of what Winky is. Do we say Winky now, or do we carry on saying Winksy?
I still call him Winky.
I call him a load of rubbish, but there you go.
I was going to say something else beginning with W, but unfortunately I cannot. But my point is is that there's basically from what I understood about Bentica from years ago was that this was a player that could do a lot of things good. And I thought he was going to go into a club, become a seasoned player where they're going to polish him in certain areas to make him the best at it. And his overall strength, his amazing ability across the board. And that was going to mature. But apparently that hasn't happened. He stayed good across the board, good at everything, but not fantastic at anything.
Yeah, jack of trades, master of none.
Now,
I think that's what we need, though.
I think in the midfield, I think Conte wanted something in the midfield that will operate in his system and say, right, okay, in this match, I want you to do this. In that match, I want you to do that. So in each of the matches, he's got a player that can change a little bit this way, change a little bit this way. The way he got Winky to start playing more forward passes, right, and I think he may do something very similar to Bentica, which is not known for doing crazy amounts of forward passes. He's quite a cautious-looking player that likes to retain the ball, keeps possession. He knows how to aggressively go out to get it too. And just to let Shamu know, it's not a TV. It's a Dell monitor. It's one of those 28-inch 4K monitors. I had two. My son's nicked the other one to go with my computer that's in the other rooms. Everything I got, they take them. The kids, they take them.
Kids, they steal everything. Yeah. You feed them too much meat, Mr. K.
Yeah,
they're taking advantage of a lovely bloke, and they're taking advantage of you.
We've got a few
Dermot,
more
go for it.
taken.
Put my
We've got a few
glasses
more
on.
people to bring in here, Ben.
Yeah.
If I hit them, you read them there for me, sir.
Mr. K, yep, he's just answered the question.
Yeah.
Right Heart Lane is saying big up Mr. K.
Yeah.
Shamu is saying big up the massive Diet Coke. Hope you're not going to drink all of that before the window ends, Mark. Yeah, he is, I think. Super
It's cider in it.
says, Super
Yeah,
Tim.
I was going to say.
Oh, Juve is a great club, but the Prem is levels above other leagues. That's why I get nervous with any transfer. But you can get nervous with any transfer. We signed Rafael van der Vaart, and he was brilliant.
Yeah,
We signed players from League One that have turned out to be brilliant and then fall off the cliff.
We tried
Evening,
to sign
gents.
that player at the bottom of the English footballing pyramid, and he said no to us.
He did, but we weren't going to sign him anyway.
No,
with his
that's
history
the
of
one that
abuse.
slagged Harry Kane off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
And
wrong. Bad
Yeah.
research.
And then
Evening, Mr.
Super Tottenham.
Super Tottenham, evening.
Evening. Right. You know, but let's talk a little bit now about the teams around us and their business. I would love to get your views on that. We'll actually start with Manchester United. They've got nobody in, but they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players out, all on loan. Do you think, I'll start with you, Ben, do you think that with us getting 2 players in and the rest, most of around the top 4 haven't brought anyone in, is that an advantage for us?
There's never an advantage. Football is playing 90 minutes, and you don't win football matches by making signings. You have a coach that gets the best out of those players. So Man United, I've seen a lot of people in a lot of Tottenham channels saying how good Man United are. I don't think any of these people have been watching Man United the last 4 weeks. They have been shocking, like awful, abysmal, like players falling out of each other. Their best players all not playing. So there's only one team that are going for the top 4 that I'm really worried about, and that's Arsenal, because they do seem to have a unit. They do seem to have a togetherness in that team. It's whether they can start pulling out performances. Thomas Partey has been brilliant for them this season. So maybe Arsenal can put it out, but it's all in us. We've got 3 games in hand over them, and we're not too many points behind. If we do well and we don't lose stupid games, we'll get in the top 4. Because we've got an elite manager, unlike that they do.
I'll go to you, Mark. Now, you look at Newcastle now, for example. Now, Newcastle got Trippier, Wood, Gomes and Matt Taggart in. Maybe not this season, but Newcastle could be a threat next season with their backing and their money for a top 4 place.
They're going to be anyway, just for the money they've got. They can buy anybody they like. You know, I mean, money's no object anymore. And as we know with Man City, financial fair play means nothing.
No.
You know, you just get a slap on the wrist, banned from Europe, and then you get your top lawyers on it and get put back in.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, Mark.
Teams do what they like.
Yeah,
we're only jealous.
They don't just have
lots
of money. They've got infinite money. It's
Yeah,
infinite.
But can you see them generally as a threat next year for top 4?
Not next season. They won't be a real threat for 4 years, and by then it's too late.
Yeah. Mr. K, great answers by the way, Mark. And can I just say congratulations, and this is your first time a full show tonight, so well done for coming on, and we love you having you here. It's an absolute pleasure
that's
having
right.
you on. Mr. K,
We've got
go on, Ben.
I'm trying to. We got the Somerset Mabbott with us today. That's Mark Cousins. He's the Somerset Mabbott of the Tottenham Fans and Gold Army, holding it all down.
1 minute.
The stalwart at the back. Big
Hang
up,
on.
Mark Cousins, absolute legend of the chat.
Mr. K, with the arrogance Man United had between Van der Beek and Martial and Devine and all that, is there any players there would you have taken at Tottenham?
So, going where? Which players?
If you like Van der Beek and Martial, would you have taken any of them at Tottenham?
Both of them. I would have snapped both of them up. Honest to God, you got one person that's lightning fast on the left side, right? You can maybe push him towards the middle if you wanted to, really. But, we got players that can work around that. It's not a problem at all. He is He is a genuine article. Whatever happened to him at Manchester United, man, we know players sometimes don't play properly for the teams. I would look. I would personally take him because I think he's a quality player, right?
Yeah.
Van der Beek is an exciting midfielder. He's got the future ahead of him. On my days, I would take both of them. But would I take Van der Beek as a loan for 6 months? No.
Right.
I wouldn't.
Right, just 1 minute. Right, you saying I'm, what was it, the Somerset Gary Mabbott?
You're the Somerset Mabbott.
My prized possession.
Oh my days, Geezer. Oh my days.
That's when I met him.
It's the Mabbott. Oh my
He is
days.
my
Keith
hero.
David.
I travelled
He's
all the way to London to meet him.
Brilliant.
Somerset Mabbott, Mark Cousins.
Yes, he is my hero.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
you understand why I would say no to the loan deal?
Yeah, I would. I think you need them more permanently, wouldn't you?
Yeah, if you're going to get a boy of that quality, then you need to maybe your loan to buy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means that there's some serious intent behind, if you're good, all the rest of it, we take him on permanently. You can't be taking on a loan player for another team like Man United and then say, yeah, we're going to give him 6 months of experience and here you go back. And next season he's knocking 3-4 past us on a regular basis. They're just not on. And on top of that, we need players that are going to fit into our team and stay here.
Man United wouldn't loan to us anyway.
No,
Yeah, that's it seems to be an awful lot of teams out there don't seem to want to loan to us, but they don't mind loaning to teams like Everton.
But they're rubbish and they're at the bottom.
Everton could still go down this year.
Yeah.
They could still go down.
No way. I don't believe for one.
Is that more of they don't like doing business with us, or they don't?
No,
like doing
I
business
think
with
generally
League?
speaking, they see us as
They see
competitors.
us as a threat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
because if you
manager,
look at
we are a
if you
threat.
look at the fourth position, realistically, there's like 4 or 5 teams aiming for that could possibly do it, including Wolves. I didn't consider Wolves before, but they've had a pretty good run of form. And that means you can't rule them out. You got Hammers, you can't rule them out. You got Arsenal, you can't rule them out. You got us, then you got Man United. And don't forget, Chelsea's not, they're not impervious to falling down. All it takes them to do is to have 2 City results, and bang, they're in the mix with us.
And they're in the Club World Cup soon. That could be really damaging for their season.
I don't want to put people's hopes up, right? Yeah, because you know what happens, right? Yeah, but if you look at, if you look at it, that Arsenal's going to end up being in the same situation as us, where they've got a limited amount of firepower up front, right? Yeah, in terms of one striker left or something they got, Lacazette, and that's it, right? So like us, we've got Kane. Who else can replace Lacazette up front in Arsenal?
No one.
No.
They might have some youth player they might dig out from somewhere, like we got Scarlett, right?
Obama, who's gone to
What I
Barcelona.
see with that though, Conte has already said he sees Bergwijn as a striker. So that's why we didn't go into a striker this way.
Yeah.
He
scored like a striker.
The
way Bergwijn scored that second goal was so much like Van Persie, man. When Van Persie was playing at Man United.
Yeah, it was like Jermaine Defoe goal as well. Just get a chance, score the goal.
Twist the body around, make sure you the composure required to play that. So I think, look, we have got advantages. We've done compared to our nearest competitors. So you're looking at, for example, Chelsea. You're looking at Arsenal. You're looking at Man United, right? We've done some business, and we've got rid of some deadwood. So, and we've got Conte, and he is doing something with our team. There is a structure of the way that they play. You have to see it with your eyes, because when you're watching on TV, you can't see the whole structure.
Yeah.
But when you see it with your own eyes, there is a very disciplined, well-drilled structure that goes on. How else do you think we kept Chelsea out all that time? And it took 2 mistakes by us to score the goal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It took Galini
but the thing is, the gulf of difference between quality between the two teams is big. But 11 men versus 11 men, you can always get in people's way, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're dealing with a Messi or a Maradona or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you look at a club like Aston Villa, right? Bought in Coutinho, Lucas Digne from Everton, and Chambers from Arsenal for an undisclosed fee.
Yeah.
Coutinho would fit into our midfield quite nicely as a
He would, but would he fit in this system?
3-5-2.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Or if you went for a 3-4-1-2.
Possibly.
Because if you stuck him in the middle of that, and you got Sonny and Kano, Bergwijn and Kano, Mora and Kano, Mora and Sonny, whichever combination two that you want to put on there, right? He'll be perfect to connect with the midfield, and their job is to protect our midfield line, to make sure that they help the defense out.
Yeah.
Right, because the biggest problem we've ever had last season and the season before was that our midfield used to melt away and expose our defense. So we'd end up cussing the defenders when in reality, what the rest of the team doing, mate?
Yeah, the shield.
The shield is not there.
So
I'm looking. You know what?
I don't think we're ever going to get Coutinho, to be honest. If Gerrard was the manager, Gerrard was always going to get Coutinho because they were very close at Liverpool. So I think that was always going to be a thing. So we can only say about the players we've gone for. We didn't go for Coutinho. There must be a reason why we didn't go for Coutinho. Otherwise, we would have gone and got him.
I just want to go quickly through this comments, and then we're actually going to leave the Premier League. We're going to actually look into the Championship and see what teams in there have done business.
Break. He's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen.
That's right. While he's doing that very, very quickly, right? Yeah,
Ben.
There's a couple of comments we can maybe refer to, right? Yeah. One of the things, maybe one of the points that we can finish off from before. We're looking at other teams around us in terms of their transfer and so on. What other teams have we got? Arsenal haven't done a great business. Oh, sorry, you're back, Dermot.
Yeah, I am. I'm just going to go through a few of these. Yeah. I'm going to go through the Premier League team by team. We've done Arsenal, basically. And then we've done Aston Villa. So we're going to do Brentford and Chelsea next. So I want to go through some of these comments. Just what you think of the Eriksen deal going to Brentford and what your thoughts on that.
I'm really happy for Eriksen. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, well, anyway, we'll go through these, Ben. So if I hit them, you read them for us, Benny.
Okay. Philip Brady saying, I'm looking dapper. From a distinguished gentleman such as yourself. Thank you very much. Big up, Mark, from Right Hart Lane.
Big up.
Yeah.
United got second last season with Ole after a bad start, but their team is far worse than it was last year. They're not a team anymore. They are toxic. Toxic with a capital. Get Britney Spears out and she would sing a song about it. United have got good players, but they need to get it together and play as a team. Do you think they're going to play as a team? No. They hate each other. They are toxic. Get Britney Spears out.
I think CR7 was the worst business.
Yeah, CR7. Yeah.
Worst bit of business they've done, actually bringing them in. Sorry, Mr. K, what are you going to say?
Nothing. I was just saying I've started to hear this word toxic used too much, and it's just it's unhealthy.
Yeah. We've got our AK Mr. Spurs. Do you want to read what he has to say, Ben?
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is gone. Partey gets sent off. Arsenal are weaker, and they will finish 6th or 7th. They've got a good unit, though. They've got some very good young players that are working for that manager. They work for each other.
Yeah.
Even though they work for each other, they can do wonders.
Yeah. I mean, even when Partey's not been playing, the team has still played well enough to score goals against the opposition. Are they the complete outfit? The answer is no. Will they be assured of top 4? No, they're just one of the competitors. They have just as much chance as anyone else. Without doubt, Man United has probably got the best squad, right? On the bench. But anything can happen between us and the end of the season. So
let's focus on ourselves. Let's not focus on other teams. Let's focus on ourselves and win football matches. We have trimmed our squad down, 4 out and 2 in. No good players on the bench, which is a worry. But we haven't got any terrible players on the bench anymore.
I don't agree with you, Ben. We should have done more business to getting more players in.
We should have.
If
you cut off,
you know what it is, Dermot? Boys, I don't think it's possible that this administration can do any better than it's done. Like, if you think about like last year, the year before, the year before that, the year before that, the year before that, I can't remember a January transfer window being like this exotic. Yeah. If you guys can, then let me know. But I haven't. And I think that this shows the amount of pressure that the administration was under. I mean, don't forget, both of these boys turned up from Juventus. So that's Paratici, right?
Yeah.
Is it his choice? No, he's just making 2 players available and going and talking to them. Does Conte want them? we hope so that they're on the list for Conte, because if they're not, oh my
It's a
days,
worry.
can you imagine what will happen in summer?
Yeah.
But luckily,
Right.
Conte and Paratici meet almost religiously every day. So we know they're talking about this. So Catman Jess is saying, big up the Tottenham Tantrum Gold Army, and big up to Dermot, Ben, Mr. K, and Mark. Big up yourself,
Thank you
Catman
very much,
Jess.
Catman.
Big up.
The Godfather is saying, now what we have now is a committed squad. The disrupted ones have now gone. Absolutely spot on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Philip Brady, the Godfather.
Start comment.
All pushing towards a single direction. So with the two players we have got in, do you think that Lucas Moura will be one to lose out of place? They will rotate, and that's what a squad does. We can
Right,
rotate.
so on that question, I want a yes or no for all three of you. So Ben, just yes or no. What do you say? Yes or no to that question? Will he
For me, yes.
Explain?
For me, yes, because it's
Mark,
more balanced
yes
for
or
the
no
team.
to Lucas Moura? Will he lose his place?
Yes.
Mr. K?
No.
And me, I'm with Mr. K, no. Even now we can't be divided. We're split down the middle. So there you go.
It's an even draw.
It's an even draw.
We can sit down and have a drink afterwards.
Just very quickly,
we're all winners or losers.
15 people watching, please like and subscribe, hit that bell.
Brilliant.
And please,
like and subscribe just for my fedora.
Or else.
Just for
Or else.
to get more of Ben's
Or
stress.
else.
Yeah.
We've got Catman Jensen, big up to the Godfather, Philip
Big
Brady.
up to the Godfather.
Oh, yo.
Lily White Lane, evening lads.
Hey.
Evening, Lily White.
Evening.
Then we've got this one here. Go on, Ben, read that one out for us.
Let's
sir.
stop giving the scum credit. Let's not worry or talk about the scum. The word Arsenal makes my blood boil. Yeah,
Exactly.
we had to.
I agree.
We had to
agree.
call God in heaven just to say we're going to say some awful words tonight. Please give us a couple of hours off. So he's going to forgive us for saying that awful A word.
You know what? He's so
Well,
right.
Arsenal's-
My mouth feels like crap for having said that.
I don't want to give
Like,
them any
seriously?
credit down the road.
Yeah.
I feel terrible. This is why I'm drinking alcohol to cleanse my tongue.
Okay, listen. Viewers know that when we talk about opposition team, especially like them, across, we talk in a particular way. We don't hate human beings, but it's been banter, a bit of memes. It's what we do. Now we're doing something very similar to Levy, and people don't get it. It's just a meme. It rained the other day. It's Levy's fault.
That's what I say on my coffee stream when the sun comes. Leave it.
Oh no, terrible cup of coffee. I blame Levy.
It's always
when the
wait.
sun
Get the
comes out.
picture up. Where's the picture?
Look, this is
It's
what
here
happens
somewhere.
when you have notoriety and a total disregard
out.
for communicating with your fans properly. Oh, no, let's not go down there. Let's carry on with this.
No, that
is
was
that
that finger.
Toxic Man
That was that
United?
finger.
new
Not the
signing?
middle one.
What does that mean? That is that Toxic Man United new French signing?
It's Britney
CR7.
Spears' new single.
Okay.
Just putting a new spin on
Wayne
it.
Bonner, put it again, which you probably have. Let us know what you mean. Go on, Mr. K. You read out some for us. Go on. You've got
It's a
got
joke.
Paul Brown.
Right?
reading
We've done it a
voice.
lot.
Paul Brown is saying, evening host panel and fellow deflated Spurs fans.
No, it's been good. I think it's been good so far.
You might be the
I
only
tell you what
one,
it is.
Mark. I feel a bit deflated.
But seriously,
No.
Mark, did you really
that's the
expect
way-
someone that players that can't even get into their team, dead wood as far as Juventus are concerned, right? For them to end up here and for us to say, yeah, we got players.
No.
Or should we say, well, at least something better than nothing?
I'm more happy with the ones that have left.
Okay, that's it. I remember you saying that.
Yes.
So that's the point. The top. Well, I don't want to use that word in respect for Mr.
Ben, I'm
K.
just very quickly, I'm putting the link into the chat now. The hour's up now, so we're going to put the link into
Ooh.
the chat. So I think
Is that
there's
Rez?
one or two people that want. Yeah, I think Rez.
Rez
Big
was
up,
talking
Rez.
to the BBC, by the way. The
And he
BBC were
probably
talking
said
to him.
something absolutely hilarious.
No,
as he
what it was,
usually
I
does.
think when the BBC looked at us, and so you know what, he looks like the clever one. Let's go talk to him.
I should have been there with my suit. I don't know.
Dude, if you'd been there, I swear to God, But you know what it is? Look, you're running your business today, so you couldn't exactly pack up shop and all the rest of
Unfortunately,
it.
I have to run my shop. Otherwise,
Look, that's
it's
what I was
only
saying
me.
to everyone. Some people are genuinely like maybe not happy that so many people didn't turn up. I'm genuinely happy. Oh, can you swap us around so I can look at him?
You've been looking at me all day.
Hey, you're sitting
Rez,
this way.
good evening and welcome to our transfer deadline show.
Good evening.
Good evening. I just want to say we're down to the last hour. I don't know if Tottenham are going to get anyone else in. I doubt it. But Aaron Ramsey has signed for Rangers on a loan to the end of the season.
Yeah.
The Dele Alli deal has not actually been finalised yet now. It's more or less done, but it hasn't finalised yet. So as soon as that gets done, we'll bring it to you straight away on here.
Just on Aaron Ramsey on there.
Just to give you guys a bit of information with regard that, and also with regard what's going on with Spurs. What I was told, and apparently this came from the media and filtered to us, was that in contrast to this idea that Paratici is the one in control of our transfers and so forth, the Dele Alli deal, the reason that Daniel Levy left the training ground at around 2ish was to go and conduct the negotiations for the Dele Alli transfer. So this idea that Paratici is the one cooking, I think might not.
But wouldn't that make sense though?
As clear cut as that.
But Rez, wouldn't that make sense? Because Dele Alli is like an established player, you know, first team, got honours, maturity, loved by the fans. That if somebody was going to negotiate their contract out, then it maybe requires the delicacy that Levy has got in his fingertips. Wouldn't he be the best man, like really like to do that? No.
Well, I mean, this is the key. The thing that one of the things that Spurs fans have been exercised by over the last few years is Daniel Levy's manner of negotiating, and the fact that when Paratici came in, the confidence or the hope was that it would no longer have, our transfers would no longer have Daniel Levy's fingerprints all over them. So I'm just saying that I don't believe that Daniel Levy has taken that hoped for step back. He's still very involved. I've been saying it for most of this month, if I'm being honest. He's still involved in it. He's still influencing it. And while that persists, we're still going to be seeing the usual stuff. I mean, the fact that we've only signed a couple so late is, for me, testament to that anyway. So, yeah.
Just want to welcome Philip Brady into the room. Welcome,
big up, Phil.
Phil,
sorry, I'm a bit late to the party, but how are you?
Are you, Grant? I'll put you.
He's dressed up as well. He understands my style.
Lovely shirt, mate.
Yeah, very nice, Des. Ben, I must say. Are you going to a dinner dance or as a bouncer?
No, I'm the Blues Brothers. I'm the newest member of the Bee Gees. I know it's 30 years late, but I'm there.
Stick with the
It's
Blues
about
Brothers.
time. I think it's about time that we had one. 30 years is far too long.
Yeah, it is.
Very quickly, Philip, what's your thought on the transfer today to Tottenham?
Okay, probably a lot better than I thought it was going to be 48 hours ago. I don't think any of us really thought we were going to be in this position with 2 new players in and 3 players gone. I would have liked to see maybe another player coming in, a creative midfielder, but we've got rid of the deadwood or the disruptive elements in the dressing room, and that to me is nearly as important as getting the new players in. And I'd say if I was scoring it out of 10, I'd give it 7.5.
Yeah.
Could do better, but could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Can I just interject?
Yeah, of course you can, Rez.
We've had 2 new players in, and we've had 4 or 5 out. So the squad is now thinner than it was. That's not a good transfer window, guys.
Well,
it isn't.
We're not.
Yeah, but it depends.
What we're saying is those
gone.
3 players weren't going to play anyway. So you might as well not have them there.
Ben, let Philip answer to Rez there. Go on.
I just think that, if if Harry Kane had gone, if Son had gone, if Højbjerg had gone, I think we'd all be tearing our hair out here. But the three players that have gone, as somebody just said there, aren't going to feature too much, if at all. And they certainly would appear to be, now we don't know this, but we're taking it on hearsay, that they are disruptive elements in the dressing room, and they're not the type of ones you want around. Okay, the other players that have gone, I think Harvey White's gone out, Jack Clark gone out, they're not going to play either. So to me, it might be a smaller squad, it's a tighter squad.
May I posit on that? I mean, I agree in terms of Ndombele, Lo Celso, and Dele having to go. I don't disagree with that. The problem is this: we were also told that Harvey White was also being targeted, and in actual fact, Conte blocked it because the squad is so thin now. The problem we've got, and I listen, I wanted those three out, I really did, right? The problem we've got is that let's say we've got a first 11, right, of Lloris, Emerson, Dyer, Davis, and Romero, Reguilon, Skip, Højbjerg, Kulusevski, what's it called? Skip, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Son, and Kane, right? What happens if one of them gets injured?
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
And
yeah,
but I mean, that's why I'm saying it's a poor transfer window. Yes, you see, there have been positive outcomes. You're absolutely right, Philip. You really are. You know, Dele and Ndombele, seriously, we had to get rid of them. We did. You're not wrong. The problem is that we had to get rid of them and then replace them, and we haven't.
True. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
That's why
the only thing that worries me is we haven't replaced Harry Kane.
No,
if Harry Kane gets injured, then we really are in trouble.
Or got ourselves a right wing back. And one of the things that, again, coming back to Paratici, you know, I saw someone saying, you know, Paratici is cooking. You know, tell me he's not cooking when we've got these two players. And I said, that's not him cooking. That's him running down to McDonald's just before they close. You know, that's not cooking. He's thinking, and you know, I was at the protest today, and nothing that Spurs have done in this window made me change my mind. It was a poor transfer window because we didn't replace those ones that we got rid of, and we really need to, because we're a couple of injuries away from being where we started, in my view. You know, that's just the way I feel about it.
I mean, you're right to feel that way. In terms of,
can I just quickly, sorry Ben, can I quickly bring in William Kelly? William, welcome, sir.
Welcome.
Hi, boys.
Yeah, we'll get to you in a minute. Go on, Ben, have your say, and then I'll go to William and see what he thinks of this transfer window.
I've said this has been a 6 out of 10 transfer window just because the players we've got out. But in terms of getting players in, it's 0 out of 10 because we've signed basically players that should be in the door anyway, which is a great ball retaining midfielder, which is brilliant because he's going to be better than Winks and he's probably going to be better than Skippy and Højbjerg in this team, in this system. And Kulusevski is going to be brilliant because everyone rates him. He's always looked a brilliant player. He didn't work at Juventus in the last year because of the system they play now. So those are two great signings. But again, you're right. We still haven't signed the right wing back. We still haven't got another right centre back to replace Tanganga. I would have loaned Tanganga out. I'm not a fan of Tanganga. I'm not a fan of him. In his last 5 games, he's been the dynamite that's blown the house down. And we still haven't got a second striker. So it's in that fact, it's a poor window. But to say I wouldn't say I'm happy, but I'm happy we don't have a gangrenous leg anymore.
Yeah,
that's what I'm happy about. That's what I've been saying all day. We've had gangrene in our leg for the past 2 years.
I can name another part of the body that's got more than gangrene.
Yeah, and we've cut the leg off.
But you know what?
Let's stick back to the transfer.
I agree with you, Ben. Yeah, absolutely. I do agree with you. But we've not been given a crutch to go alongside the
I'd rather leg. Allow my bed than have a gangrenous leg.
Don't get Res started, bro. Listen, William, we got some wonderful, we've got some incredibly knowledgeable people here right now. I feel so gifted that they're here. Like, look around me right now. I see amazing knowledge that these people have got, experience that they've got in Spurs. And Mr. Bradley over there has just been sitting there patiently. Mr. Kelly over here has been sitting here patiently. You know what, guys? Respect for being here. Honestly, I feel really like Honestly, I'm starting to get a little bit red in the cheeks a little bit because I'm sitting here with you guys. You guys are so much legends, man. I swear to God.
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm blushing. I'm blushing, geezer.
Knowledgeable people and that guy wearing the suit.
We all want the same thing. We all want the same thing. Really,
Yeah.
that's basically what it comes down to. A
Our
successful
club to
Spurs
be good.
side,
That's
you
it.
know. And
That's
like, we
exactly
suffer.
it, Philip. We all want the
We suffer.
same
Like we as Spurs
thing.
fans, we've
We want
suffered far
success.
more. We've suffered far more in the last couple of years than most other teams in the top 6, top 7 of the league. And I think it's time that stopped. Let's see other teams suffer a wee bit now. Okay, I'm not going to admit the A word. I mentioned the A word, Ben. I won't say it fully. They're suffering at the minute, and let them suffer.
Arsenal. But, Phil, if you don't want to say the A word, just call them bum-and-all. That's what I do.
All right, okay, that's a good one.
I'm going to get the sick bucket out in a minute if you can even.
Ben, shall we go through some of these comments quickly
Yes,
before
we
they
should,
start building
sir.
up? And, yeah, right. This one from Catman Jess.
Can we get a Phil Lattis woo for our signings? He's not here, so.
I did my best.
Well done, Rez.
Ben said Man United were toxic, so I changed it to toxic. French accents. Is he the new French signing? Trust me, my jokes get worse. More jokes, Wayne Bonner. We need more because it's excellent. Yeah. Oren is saying, is this a Levy out stream or a Spurs stream? Well, it's always Spurs.
Right, can I just say something now? I want to say something.
Levy's child.
Hang on. Oren, if you don't like watching this channel and you want to watch Coronation Street or EastEnders, go and watch that. Okay? You're not coming on here and talking a load of holics, all right? This is a Tottenham channel. We have our own opinions. We are entitled to our own opinions. We don't live in your dream world. So if you want to go off, go and watch Coronation Street or something. Don't bother coming in here anymore.
Are you sure he didn't say that in tongue in cheek?
I don't know, but
because he did remove it. He did remove it. Listen, he did remove it from YouTube. It's just that in SteamYard it stays.
Apologies for talking over everyone. I have to say, Dermot, a load of Horlicks is now my new favourite expression. Okay.
Rez can learn something this week. You've done something good. Rez is the king of anecdotes. He's the king of sarcastic anecdotes. No one is better than Rez.
I love that. No, that's genuine. I am now going to be using a load of Horlicks a lot. And I mean,
I'm going to start teaching you some Yiddish, Rez. It's just going to be schmendik and schmock and schlongadicker and lobbus.
It's the perfect language for insults. It really is. It is the perfect language for insults because it's got
especially
that. Especially
schmendrick.
Into it. Yeah, you know, I love it. I love it, mate. Do it.
Look, we mustn't look at the end of the day, right? Yeah, like regardless of what statements come out by any particular viewer, we should never be fazed at how we feel. Because the decision that we've decided, all of you guys, whenever you made your decision about being Levy in and out, and I want to say this one last time because I want to get on with the transfer thing, but whenever you guys made your decision to be Levy out, it wasn't yesterday.
No.
Right? No. And a lot of people out there don't realize that we've been in this
Martin
situation for years. We've been in this position for years, how we feel. So no matter what happens today, it ain't going to sway me left or right. Right? If people want to know and they can sit down with me and they can go with me for a few hours and I explain it to them why I feel the way they feel, then they can turn around and make judgments. But people don't know these things. So because they don't know, they get a little bit, they raise questions and so on. And it's good for people to raise questions because it strengthens what you believe when you articulate it. Right? And if you don't fully understand it, you say, you know what, let me go and have a look at this.
Yeah. I mean, I can only speak from my own personal experience in terms of the way I think. But I do enough research in my head, and I hope I come across as a fairly analytical person in terms of what I think. But I'm not going to copy Brian Daigle's opinion because it's the loudest one. I come up with my own opinions. Brian is a lovely chap. To see Brian Daigle at my coffee shop and come down to my shop and just be a mate to me and how great a lot of the Levy out people have been, I can come up with my own opinion. I don't need Brian Daigle to tell me my own opinion. No. He's an absolutely lovely bloke. And that's the reason I still call him Aki in my native tongue. Yeah. So everyone on this panel can come up with their own opinion. And we need to respect everyone's opinion, whether they... whether whether you like it or not, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So we are what's it called? Dependent on free speech to bring the world forward. So this stream is all about free speech, coming up with your own opinions and expressing it for everyone to critique and talk about. So come up with your own opinions.
Yeah. Ben, do us a favour, read out this comment.
Yep, I will. Once I get a haircut, lol, I'll come on if I can. I've never made an appearance on YouTube. I don't have a mic, so it would be on my phone. If you want to join Right Heart Lane, you've got the best name, so you can join.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go on.
I'm only on my phone as well, so don't worry about that. You can
I'm on my phone too.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we don't criticise.
I'm on a webcam and it's doing the flickering thing because it's crap. The phone will probably be better.
Yeah,
I'm on my phone, but I've got this other
I thought you
equipment
were on
around.
Teletext
Does that
still,
count?
Rez.
So yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah.
Apparently I'm running an airport in my sitting room, but hang on, there's
That's
a plane just
fantastic.
coming in now from Geneva. Hang on, is it Deli Ali? No, it's not. Sorry, it's gone. Right, sorry.
Am I right saying you can request an extra hour after the deadline to get
Guys,
a deal? Yes, you
45 minutes left.
You can request a deal if you've already got the paperwork.
Yeah,
because we don't have any of the paperwork, there's no chance of us doing a deal at this rate, unless something stupid happens, which it won't.
From what I understand, there's a 2 hour. There's until 1 a.m. for something else.
If you put submit the paperwork in, but you haven't done everything.
Yeah, the agreement
until
of
1
principle.
a.m. or until midnight.
I think we messed up once, didn't we?
Yeah,
Because we missed
did.
out.
Yeah,
I was
2
just about to
minutes
say
later.
that.
Yeah.
We
So
did mess up on one.
Oren is now saying Levy sold Delhi the way he did, so MK Dons would not get any of the money from Delhi being transferred. Well, MK
Good.
Dons could do with that money, so that's not very nice of him, is it?
No.
They could do with that money.
No, it's not. That's typical.
That's
Levy.
Wimbledon.
Typical.
Wimbledon.
That's a horrible thing to do.
It's a Wimbledon.
With Conte in charge, we should have brought in an Italian player. They have some good players, and he should have used it to our advantage. I agree with that. I'd like to see a load of Italian cheats at Tottenham that all smoke and drink wine at half time and then batter teams. That's what I want to see.
Well, we need to be
Time
nice.
to start learning Italian.
Right, we need to stop being nice. We're too nice. We're too soft.
Yep, we are. We keep on saying "me dispiace." We keep on saying that instead of
You know,
"Vaffanculo."
Look, you know what it is? One of the good things about our fan base, right? On the whole, is the fact that it is knowledgeable, but at the same time mannered enough. It has manners. And if you think about it, I mean, really, that type of makeup doesn't really do well when it comes to protesting. But when it comes down to when you compare our fan base to other fan bases, I'd rather be. I can't imagine being any other fan base. Seriously, like
No, we're brilliant. We all have fun together. We all meet each other
Mr.
in the
K,
streets.
are you comparing that to? Are you comparing that to Arsenal?
Do not
fan
mention them,
base?
William.
Don't mention the name. Don't
I
mention
think,
the
I think that's chalk and cheese. There's like a great example of what can happen to your fan base if you go down a certain particular road. So I do look at the lessons that I can read from the Wenger out period, and hope that we don't fall into the same quagmires that they did. And addressing other fans. Yeah, addressing other fans who may have one or two concerns is you have to address them the right way, because they're taking guts to come and speak something. It takes guts to write a comment. Trust me, once you get familiar with it, it's easier. But it takes guts to do that, and I think people need to voice what's inside them because that's what they know, and it gives us an opportunity to say, you know what, let's have an interchange here. We can learn from each other. There's knowledge you have, I may not have. There's knowledge I have, you may not have. And at the end of that discussion, I'm not going to change Levy out, but maybe you might be more empathetic towards why I'm Levy out. Yeah? I don't need people to come over to Levy out, but I do want them to understand why we feel this way. And that's very, very important. We can have a right of differences. We can have differences, right, amongst human beings, but we must respect one another and say you're entitled to have your opinion. I acknowledge that you're a human being. I acknowledge that you have intelligence. And I know that because you're a Spurs fan, you're more intelligent than every other fan.
We can disagree, but still be best friends.
Exactly. That's the way I want it to be.
Society. Right, next comment. Paul Brown.
Get on with it.
Come on, Demo.
For the panel here. So let's get through these quickly because I've got a couple of questions on as Philip and William and Rez while they're here. just what they think of the transfer window. So we'll get through these very quickly and we'll get to that.
Yep. Paul Brown is saying it's been crap. Let's be honest. He's right. Only good part of the transfer market so far is that those who have exited, Levy's still in control. It's obvious he's pulling the strings. We've talked about this now. So move on. Levy was only involved with Delhi. It was Fabio who did the other deals. Not the way I see it. Breaking news: PSG still 0-0.
Yeah, let me know how that game finished. Actually, Phil, we were talking about it before we came on. It's a private joke between me and Phil.
Okay.
Mr. K, he's a lovely bloke.
Yeah, I wonder who he is.
Yeah, he's a lovely bloke, and he's got a great beard. Like it's majestic in the wind when it blows.
Yeah. Reminds me of Santa Claus.
It's okay to highlight we were turning into a Levy out show rather than a transfer show, but Levy's name will pop out, especially when he's intimately involved. Thanks for the poke. It's important. Big up, Mr. K. What a lovely bloke.
Yeah.
So I don't like this comment. What players
actually
will be the new scapegoat for Spurs? It's not about scapegoating. No. It's about criticism. These players are earning hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds a week.
Right.
If they can't be criticised, people criticise me for making a freaking coffee, and I don't even earn $9.50 a week anymore because I work for myself. If someone earning hundreds of thousands of pounds a week can't be criticised by the paying fans who pay the highest season ticket prices in Europe, what is it? I can question whether a player plays bad. It doesn't matter whether you're the kit man or whether you're Harry Kane. Everyone has a right to criticise through freedom of speech. Sod off.
It depends. It's not scapegoating. You're right, Ben. And the criticism has to be fair, but a lot of the time it is, right? One thing I won't criticize a player for is how good they are, right? I can't turn around and say that player's shit, because the ability they have is ultimately down to the natural ability to play the ball and the techniques that they've learned during their time as a professional player, right? What I can criticize them for, and what I will criticize them for, what I do criticize them for, those that don't meet the standard, are those that don't work, right? You can demand that a player works hard. That is a valid demand, right? So, for instance, there are those that will criticize Davis because he's shit. You can't change that. You can't get him to be less shit, but you can get him to work hard.
He's proven to be great.
No, absolutely, yeah. I'm just saying
he works hard. He's got the work ethic.
Exactly. That's their vernacular. They'll say he's shit, and so I want him out of the club. And it's like, I can understand wanting a better player, absolutely, but saying he's shit as if he can change that is like, oh, I'm shit. I didn't realize. Oh, sorry, I'll be better now. No, he works his ass off. That's what he can do, and that's what he does. So I won't.
Anyone else want to comment with this? This comment?
Just a bit of breaking news. Delhi has passed his medical.
Woohoo!
He will be an Everton player tonight, but they're just sorting out the final details of the paperwork.
Right.
But he will be an Everton player. So Dele Alli will be leaving Tottenham.
Get the champagne out, my boy.
Yeah.
Very quickly to that comment, and then I'll ask Philip and William, and then Mark. We have a right to criticise players. The only time I won't criticise a player is if I say put 100% in and trying.
Yeah.
Even if we lose, if you can walk away and we've lost 2-0, but you can say that player put in a shift for the shirt. Yeah. That's all I ever ask for. Is they put a shift in for the team. Then I won't criticise them. We pay their wages, don't forget. It's the money that we pay their wages. So we're entitled as a paying public to criticise our team. Now if you want to live in a world where we don't criticise everything, then you're supporting the wrong sport completely. Go and watch bowls or tennis or golf, or go and watch WWE. But we're entitled to our opinion in a football film. It's been the same since day dot, and it'll be the same when I'm dead and gone.
Correct.
So, Philip, do you want to say anything to that comment?
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, I don't mind, as you said, if we get beaten and players have to drag themselves off the pitch, having given 110% effort. You know, but it's players that don't even break sweat during the match. Or just, don't track back or let their man go past them without even running back. Like I remember back in the day. I mean, this might sound funny, but genius that he was. Jimmy Greaves was accused of being a lazy player.
Mm.
You know, but what
When
can you
everyone's
say
had
about
their
Jimmy
say,
Greaves?
I've got a story that I think you'll like, Philip. But once everyone's had their say, I've got a little story for that one that I think you'll like.
Yeah,
Kevin.
like Jimmy Greaves was the greatest goal scorer we'll ever see, and yeah, he was some fans. He doesn't do enough. He doesn't run enough. I mean, with that goal ratio, I'd forgive him for bringing out a deck chair and putting it on the halfway line for 85 minutes, as long as he scored a couple of goals in the other 5, you know? So, no, there are players, like, that's, I think, Dele Alli's biggest problem. Dele Alli has given the impression this season. Now, I had great hopes for him when he came back. He came back early from pre-season. He did his weights. He did everything as if he was going to make a big effort this season. It didn't happen. He was strolling around the pitch there as if he owned the bloody place there for the last few matches that he's played, you know? And while I wish him luck at Everton, but he wants to get his work ethic sorted out a little bit, because those Scousers, they won't let him away with it more than we did, you know?
William, can I just say, Catman just said she loved your story in the Irish Hotspur when you stuck up for your teammates. When you said that, William, I fell off the seat in stitches. I could not stop laughing for about 20 minutes. I found it so funny. So, big up. If you want to tell that story again
I've got
very
plenty of more
quickly,
stories. Like,
if
I
you
got
want to
plenty of
tell that
more
story
stories
very
like that,
quickly
Dermot.
again, just say it because it was
Oh,
so
that
funny.
story.
But,
All right, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So when I first came over to Sydney in Australia, I didn't know anybody, you know what I mean? But I heard about this football team up the road, and I ended up going up and playing. And on my debut, I scored 2 goals. So the next couple of matches, they asked me to play centre back, and I said, right, I'll play centre back. Doesn't bother me. And I'm playing alongside a Croatian fella, and we're playing a Croatian team, and apparently they're quite aggressive. And the last game where our team had beaten them, their players started spitting on our players, and it was horrific apparently. So the match kicks off, and it's going okay, and then suddenly there's a couple of bad challenges, and the whole thing just gets out of control. But they've got this little forward, and he's a little prick. I'm being honest. He's just a little dog, and he starts spitting on players, and he jumps up on one of our players. He was actually a Scottish guy, and starts screaming into his ear. So I turned to Genny, who was beside me, my central defender partner, and I said, I'm not going to let this prick get away with this, Genny. You can't do that and get away with it. So as he's walking up towards me, he has this big smile on his face, and I just thought, I'm going to fuck you up. So I grab him by the throat and lift him up and WWE him into the ground, which was a bit aggressive, but the whole thing just kicked off, and it was a mass brawl. I got sent off. I think a couple of our players got sent off, and a couple of their players. But Pisa, I didn't tell you, as we're walking off, he starts trying to have a fight with me as we're walking off as well, but it's just madness. Well, the thing is, as I always say, if you can't stick up for the other 10 players on that field, what's the fucking point in being on that field? Because you're supposed to have everyone's back. You know what I mean? Now, you don't have to go violently the way I did, which was probably over the top, but you know what I mean? Like against Chelsea, they just allowed the Chelsea players to laugh in their face and do whatever the hell they want. You have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think. When it comes to football, I was always taught it's about commitment. It's about desire, and it's about wanting to win.
Yes.
And it's about having the back of everybody on that field.
Yeah.
No matter, even if you didn't get on with that person, you still had to have their back.
Yeah.
You saw it.
That's my story.
When Archie was in charge at the beginning, we saw it. There was such team spirit. You know, all of them, except for the goalie, would celebrate a goal all together, and they seemed to love being on the pitch with each other. And then it disappeared.
Yeah.
I will say.
I mean, just one thing. Sorry, Ben. I think, look, I have to say, just with this window, obviously, I think we could have got more players. It would have been nice, but I think getting rid of Dele Alli, Ndombele, and Lo Celso is going to make a better dressing room and a better playing environment for the players that are there. I mean, they at a level they were shocking. They were shocking, and they had to go. And I think Paratici has done brilliant getting rid of those. Let's be honest, because I didn't think he would. I didn't think we'd get rid of them. I thought they were going to just rot in there. So he's done a fantastic job where that's concerned, and it's great. And I'll always give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
On the two signings, I just hope they can bed in quick, because we need them to bed in quick.
Yeah.
You know,
About your
I hope it's
story,
not
William.
another case of they're injured and they can't play for months and whatnot. You just, we need them to kick on very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah, with your
just
story,
very quickly,
William, I want to
very
say the
quickly.
tagline of the show: "You'll never beat the Irish," is what you should have said to me.
That's it,
You
man.
threw into the crowd.
That's true.
And I say that at the end of every stream, so you can.
Ben, the Irish will always be your best. The Irish will always be good friends to you, but never fucking cross them.
That's why Dermot's
That
my
is for
hitman.
sure.
Never
That's why
cross
Dermot's
them.
my hitman.
They're dangerous as man.
Isn't that right,
Dermot's my
Philip?
hitman.
Dermot's too nice to be a hitman.
You haven't got him.
Trust me,
maybe
Williams, you'll
that's
see
his
another
cover.
side you don't like.
Maybe
You know,
that's his
talking
cover.
about- talking
Maybe
about-
I think it's in every Irishman, Dermot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Every Irishman has it.
I've even got 10% of it in my blood, so it's there.
Talking
Yeah,
about
there you
hitmen,
go. Well,
I think-
look, at the end of the day, we're all born from the Celts and the Vikings, so what do you expect? You know what I mean?
Well, not
Pure
talking about
madness.
hitmen, I think that there's one thing we need to do in this Spurs team. I hope comes through this Spurs team. I always think this for the last number of years. We're too nice on the pitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There needs to be a bit of shithousery
Yeah.
going on there. Getting in
why
their
I'm
face,
happy with
ignoring
Benzema.
them.
A
I hope
couple
that's what
of
happened with this new
seasons
guy,
ago-
Benzema, whatever you call him, comes in and does that.
Bentancur.
Because we don't want to stand back and let people walk over us like Chelsea did recently.
Yeah,
We want a battle of the bridge
Yeah.
again.
yeah. They'll know that
maybe
if
not-
they,
maybe
if
not
they
quite
try
that
and get
aggressive, but
cute, if
you
they
know where
try
I'm
and get
coming from.
cute, we're going to hurt them. They should know
Yeah.
that. It's part of football. Not deliberately in terms of I'm going to break something, but I'm going to give you a little, what's it called? A little reminder that we can tackle too.
Yeah.
You know, not.
That's it, man. All it takes is. It just
couple
takes
of-
it.
yeah.
You
A
look up to
couple
them,
of
show a
Graham
bit of
Roberts
aggression.
They call
Show a
them
bit of
reducers.
aggression.
Yeah, they call them reducers. A couple of reducers, right? Just to keep them honest, right?
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna be able to cute your way past us. You're not gonna be able to con the ref. Fine, con the ref will hurt
I
you,
gotta read this.
right?
Oh.
Not badly,
Sorry,
but we're gonna
go
give you a
on,
little
Mark's back up for you.
convincer. You know, I just want to tell the story because I think Philip will love this story. If you remember Jimmy Greaves, so the story here was that Bill Nicholson, after every game, would go around the dressing room and he would rub the players' shirts to see how much they'd sweated, right? To
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
see how hard they'd worked. And apparently, he always left Jimmy Greaves' shirt till last to dry his hands. I thought you'd like that one.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, Lord.
Mark. Well, I mean, Jimmy Greaves was spotted having a fag at half time on the bench one game.
Yeah.
So I can't see him doing that anymore.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Mark, what's your thought on that commitment, for players? Would you criticising players? Would you criticise them, or if they give commitment, you're happy with that?
Every time. It's like the rest of you have said. If you're trying and you can see that you're trying, fair play. If we lose, we lose.
Yeah.
We just want 100% effort every time. They're paid enough.
That's it.
That's it.
And we want Levy
Right,
out.
I have to scoot. I have to leave. I've got to go here, unfortunately. But
Oh,
listen,
big
sorry
up,
to stay longer. Enjoyed the chat, and hopefully tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our season.
That's it, Philip.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us,
Yeah.
Philip.
Okay.
God
See
bless
you,
you.
lads. See you again.
Take
All the
care,
best.
pal.
See ya.
Right.
and William Kelly's gone as well. So
I mean, let's face it. Any of us would give our right arm to play for Tottenham.
Yeah.
We would.
Yeah.
We would. Unfortunately, none of us were good enough. Well, I don't know, but I certainly wasn't. You know, and these people that just swan in and then don't do anything and they're lazy and like Ndombele. Well, what's he done since we've been here? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm rubbish and I could have done more than him.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
With 24 minutes and 39 seconds left of the transfer window, apart from Dele Alli going out, that's our business done.
Yeah, it's basically
with the squad we've got now, for John Fitzpatrick and Anson, does anyone see us getting top 4 this season? And I'll start as a yes or no, and then we can go all more in depth afterwards. Ben, yes or no?
It's not a black and white question, unfortunately. It's a very grey question. I think we can with this manager.
Yeah.
I think we can. But it all depends on whether other teams get injuries. It depends on injuries. Yeah. It depends on luck, most of it. If we start getting Harry Kane being offside decisions, despite the fact we're not offside at all, we won't finish in the top 7. So it's everything's got, the stars have to align. So I believe in this football manager, and I believe in this new unit without any toxicity in it. Yeah. So I think we can.
Rez?
I'm going to give a black and white answer, but I'll qualify it after I've given it. The answer is no, but it's nothing to do with Conte, and it's not even anything to do with the quality of player that we've brought in. It's purely because I don't see us going 4 months without injury, which, seriously, 1 injury will be a massive blow. 2 injuries will just knock us for 6. And the quality, the drop in quality, because of the thinness of the squad, will basically make us, we'll be Chelsea'd until those players return, basically. So no, my answer is no, because I just don't see us staying injury free until the end of the season.
Oh,
did you want to keep talking?
Mark?
I can if you want.
All right.
Do you think we get top 4?
My heart says yes. My heart definitely says yes, obviously. But I agree with Rez, really. You know, 1 or 2 injuries and we've had it. Yeah. To be honest. You know, I mean, well, you never know. There's still, 25 minutes? 20 minutes?
Might get 6
Rez, get down the training ground again. You're signing a contract, son. You're right centre-back. You're the only one that's good enough. I'm terrible at football.
I did my best.
Come on, get on the plane, sir. You're playing centre-back next week.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. I'd have a heart.
Have you become a new super agent, have you, Ben?
Yep. I've got the rabbi hat on, but I'm an agent at heart.
I was going to say, hopefully, another midfielder. Hopefully. But it's running out now, the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. K, are you back there?
I certainly am. Thank you very much. Sorry about that, guys. Viewers.
Okay.
Very important phone call, unfortunately, I had to take.
I'm still here.
No, you're grand. You've got a question there from, where is it now? I did have it up there, Mr. K. John Fitzpatrick. There, do you see us? He says, doesn't anyone see us getting top 4 this season?
I do.
Yeah, me. Yes,
I do. I mean, look. I'm one of those type of fellas. If you ask me what type of score we're going to get against another team, I'm always going to say 4-1 Spurs. So maybe I'm sentimental FC. Right, but I believe on any given day,
we're the only 2 delusional people here. Us 2 here.
Listen, I believe that on any given day,
maybe the beard makes us delusional.
But you know what it is? I think we've got good luck charms hitting our beers. Yeah, it's all falling out, mate. But what it is, I don't believe willy-nilly. I've seen our team. Like, I know on any given day, our team can beat any team on the planet. Right, I believe that. I've seen it with my eyes. Right, they can snatch, they can snatch defeat out of Actually, no, that's the other way. We can snatch a victory, but the old-fashioned Spurs used to be the type of Spurs that used to, snatch a defeat out of a win. So if we've gone the other way, where we started to snatch victories or draws towards the end of a game, then I see the fact that the team are starting to give it that extra little bit. That Conte effect is starting to happen. And I believe that as the season goes on, we're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, we've got rid of some people in the team that were just basically, they were just window watching, really. They were just acting as tourists. It wasn't their individual faults as such, as I believe, but the circumstances just made it such that we weren't compatible with them anymore, like Dele Alli, Lo Celso. It just we had to part ways. So now that we've done it, it shows the rest of the squad that the manager believes in them, that he has a plan for them. And Conte is the type of fella that will tell players, you know what, Geezer, I'm not going to have you in this game or that game, but I'm going to put you in the other game. I need you for that, so I need you to start training for this. He has a plan for every squad member, and in emergency needs to play them around in case somebody gets injured. But he's not the type of manager that's going to leave somebody sitting on a bench every single week, right? Yeah, without any hope of getting some game time. And he says it to us. He goes, it's not fair for these players. The first opportunity I can to give them game time, I will. And I think good on him. So with that in mind, I believe that we can get a togetherness, and that's what's going to get us top four. If we can't get that togetherness, then whichever other team out there gets a togetherness, they'll get top four.
Yeah, Ben, you were going steampunk there. I liked it.
Yeah, but I was called President Hoffman in the chat, so I've got to have the Abe Lincoln hat.
Take the hat off, put the goggles on, and then put the hat back on. And that
they're not good anymore, unfortunately.
That looks good. Just to straighten them slightly. It looks good. I like it.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I was called President Hoffman, so I've got the presidential hat on.
Yeah. That's
big
proper,
up to me.
It reminds me, do you know you remind me of Abraham Lincoln going on his motorbike?
Yeah, I'll take it.
About to go, it's like going on his next sort of rally. Right, where's my motorbike? Let me get on it.
Abraham Lincoln was a Cockney, Dermot?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Sorry, I didn't realise. I thought he was American, but apparently it's fourscore and 7 years ago. They're brought forth on this continent.
Yeah. And Abraham Lincoln just sat there. We're going to end slavery, innit?
Yeah. Get that slavery sorted, right? I don't like it. I want it proper. All right?
Sort it, my son. It's all got a bit pear-shaped.
It's gonna get pear-shaped, yeah. Don't like it. It's not pucker.
Right. Viewers out there, if you want to know about history, please don't listen to these two. Please
I was going to say a bit like this.
Hello, I'm Abraham Lincoln. I'm just going to go up and down the apples and stare.
What's the transfer show turning into? It's a laugh, but I love it. But come on, guys.
This is a bit like Phil and Friday Night Show. This is the different version of it.
I was just about to say that. It's like the Friday Night Show or Saturday Night show.
Oh, Lord. All we're missing is Phil and Cooper coming on. Actually, Cooper sent in the comments, mate. Yeah, Cooper sent in the comment here. He says,
still 20 minutes left,
lads.
That's true. Yeah. It is true. Yeah. No,
Mr. K, you read it out there.
Cooper99 says, relax, lads. There's still 20 minutes left. I've signed 8 players in that amount of time on Football Manager. You know what? 20 minutes. Ooh, I want to know your secrets, Cooper. 20 minutes in Football Manager. That's a record, bro. 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then we've got one here, Mr. K from Super Tottenham.
It says, Super Tottenham saying, we done well to clear the Deadwood players out. The dressing room will be a lot more happier, or will be more happier. The incomings isn't enough. We needed at least one more player. Spot on. Super Tottenham, absolutely spot on, mate.
That's what I've been saying.
Shamoo Van Spurs is saying to Cooper99, you need to add in yourself and Dermot into the Spurs squad. That would be awesome. You know what? You guys at least show them what it means to have a passion for the shirt. Yeah. Even though after 100 yards, you're probably coughing your guts out. But
I couldn't even do 100. I'd give me 10.
Right, Wayne Bonner. Damn, the streams have turned into Ray Winston's meets Oliver Twist.
Yes,
what happened while I was away? Did I go away? Oh, it's you, Geezer. It's you.
Yeah.
Can I be the one that says, please, Levy, can I have some more?
No.
Oh, blimey, Gov.
No, my force sworn. Phil's saying,
breaking news from
Oh,
Phil
listen,
Hollywood
guys.
the Tiss.
listen, Phil's got some breaking news, right? Strong breaking news that we are close to a deal with Zagreb right wing back Dixie Recht for £8 million.
Oh,
Right,
fantastic.
thoughts? It's not happening. We've got 15 minutes.
We're also signing this Croatian player called Cut Your Cock Off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's thing, yeah.
He sounds a bit cocky.
There's also, I think he's a Russian player, and he's also a right wing back. I think it's Spartak Moscow, who weirdly, this is one of the weird things. When they did his medical, Spartak almost didn't buy him because he's got a little not prosthetic, like a nubbin testicle. So he's got an extra testicle, right?
Oh God!
I think it's Vladimir Hujinikobolikov. So yeah, we've been linked with him as well.
Oh, I think Aguilar's statement about Paul Brown. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We're thinner in depth than when we started. Injuries, and we're in big trouble. Absolutely. Let's just hope the new signings, current squad shine. New squad members always take time to get into the Premier League. Yeah. Unfortunately, right? And Aglia Kakaratas, have I got that right? Sorry,
it's just LA.
LA. I thought I tuned into the Chaz and Dave Cockney show. What you guys been doing while I was away?
Right, a lot. I don't know
what. My son.
That was
the thin blue line.
Can I just say, right? This is what happened, right? Red started singing Rabbit, right? Ben started singing Getcha.
He doesn't do that at Southside Spurs, though.
I've got my beer on the sideboard in. Let Mum sort it out when you come round here.
Yeah, right. We had Mark singing My Old Man's Dustbin Man.
No,
right?
no, it's the Wurzels. It's the
Wurzels. Was it the
Wurzels?
Wurzels?
And I was in the chimneys.
Yeah.
I remember
I was singing 7 Drunken Nights by the Dubliners, so there you go.
No, you're singing the Wild Rover, mate.
Yeah.
Spent all me money on whiskey and beer.
Is Ellie in the house?
She's in the private chat.
Down there.
No, she's in the house because she just wrote a private comment.
Yeah, she's in the private chat.
She hasn't come in, though.
Huh?
Ellie is Tottenham till I die, yeah.
Yeah, she's in the
Bring her
house somewhere. Bring her in.
Ellie, where you gone missing?
We need some decorum in here. Bring in Ellie in the nightclub room.
Yeah.
Have you put her in the wrong studio? No, scroll down, damn it. Scroll down. Yeah, where you see us.
She's not there. No, I can see you, Paul. Ellie's not there.
She's not there. Okay, maybe she just left them.
Yeah. Maybe.
She just came to say, company's rule. Rabbit.
Yeah. Right, we do this one here from Wayne Bonner.
Dixie Rex, yep, he's there.
Yeah.
Carl Simpson says, I feel confident for the top 4. No one around us has strengthened, so surely that puts us right up there. Yeah. Let's go peak delusion mode. We're on this steam train to absolute failure.
I actually want to do a little conversation at Reds. Would the other lot not strengthen him? Do you think that strengthens our case for top 4, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
I don't think it matters overly. I think it's, in a way, that process that Arteta keeps talking about. In a way, I think it's their way of sort of going through it. Whether or not it will work in the end, we don't know. They've been playing better, and the likes, they've done sort of what we've done in terms of getting rid of sort of bad elements. They haven't got rid of all of them because Xhaka's certainly still there. But I think we're pretty much still on par with them. We're not. We haven't made a great leap forward, and they haven't made a big step back.
Rez, don't you think they bought better in the summer before, though? They spent real money in the summer.
Yeah, they spent that's the difference. But you got to bear in mind one thing I'll say is the Arsenal squad were trash before the summer. I mean, it was ridiculously bad. They brought it.
You mean Covenal?
It doesn't make sense to me that they wouldn't buy a striker. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You're going to let a striker go. What, you're going to replace a striker? Are they following us? Are they copying us?
They seem to have confidence in Alexandre Lacazette. So you know, you know, I won't say good luck to them because that's stupid. But you know, good luck. So yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't think it makes a huge difference. I really think the top four, or the sort of, if it's going to be one spot left, it will go to the least weak rather than the most strong. I think the formula will be who's got the weakest, the least weak squad. And it's very difficult to tell at the moment. You know, West Ham squad isn't as strong as it could be. They had some good results, but they're tailed off. Arsenal squad still needs a lot of work. Our squad still needs a lot of work. Leicester are going through this funk, the Rodgers effect, as I call it, Rodgers' third season effect. Man United are seemingly stunned by Rangnick's approach with the 4-2-2-2 formation that he likes to play. So yeah, out of those are the candidates. The ones that I'd be keeping an eye on are Villa, right? They're the dark horse. Can you imagine them with their 5 new signings just very gently progressing?
We've got a game in hand on them, and they're 10 points behind us.
I know. But stranger things.
That's 3 wins. 3 wins and a draw.
I will remind you, okay. I would remind you. We came the year that what's it called? Leicester won the league. We came 3rd in a 2-horse race.
Yeah,
that's because we lost 5-1 to Newcastle on the final day.
Yes,
and they were relegated.
The gap.
And that team was relegated.
The gap was 10 points, I believe. The gap between us and Arsenal was 10 points.
Oh,
and that was towards the end of the season. We were sitting in second, right up
pretty.
Until the end. Yeah. You know, stranger things are. I'm not saying it would. I'm just saying keep an eye out.
But can you imagine on the last day of the Premier League, we go up against a relegated side that's being relegated, and we lose 5-1? Conte would have a field day with the players.
Good mental.
He'd go absolutely berserk, crack a toe, bro. We'll hear about it all the way from where we're living. That's what would happen. None of this. I think Poch was too kind, too soft on those players, mate.
He was, probably.
I would have slapped them hard, bro.
I think Wolves might be a dark horse, guys. Wolverhampton Wanderers are coming slowly. Wolverhampton are showing their colours, and they're getting in there. And do you know what I like about Wolves? Their team spirit is fantastic. And they work hard for each other.
Ellie, are you using the same
skillful?
Ellie, are you using the same headphone and microphone setup you had before?
I've got headphones on.
Right, because every time you speak, there's a crackle, snap, and pop.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Carry on. It's better than listening to the fan that we heard earlier.
I'm a Rice Krispie. That's why I'm a Rice Krispie.
I want to see nightclub Ellie in the dark with her sunglasses on. That's the Ellie I want to see.
Yeah, you could see that. You could see that, but I'll save that for another stream.
Ellie, Ellie, you know what? There's 2 questions I really want to ask you since you're on the stream. I've been waiting such a long time for you to get here. There's 2 questions I'm dying to ask you right now. Right? One, are you happy with the transfer business that we've done coming in and out? And secondly, do you feel that we now have a squad compared to other teams? Do you reckon we've strengthened in order to get ourselves a top 4 in terms of positively, optimistically?
I actually... you have to wait until these players come in and see what they can do, because you can't judge it on YouTube because it's a different league. But what I'm saying is, I think we've weakened our squad because we've got 4 out and 2 in. So that means, like you said, Mr. K, if we get 1 or 2 injuries, no, Red said that. Sorry, apologise to you, Red.
No, that's all right. You can do to me what you want, Ellie. You know that. All right.
Don't get me started now.
Hey.
Can I, before you continue, I want to tell a story, Ellie. This is how wonderful Ellie is, right?
Look,
I dropped her. Hold on. We went out for a curry when Brian was last time he was here, right? And it got really late, and I didn't want Ellie to go home at that late hour, so I dropped her home, right? we met up the game after, right? And in the most wonderful gesture, right, Ellie brought me a replica shirt as a thank you, right?
Wow.
With my favourite player on the back as well, right? I mean,
Skip.
after that,
Skippy,
after
right?
that, you can
No,
do what
yeah.
you want, Ellie. Yeah.
I'm like that. I'm sort of like that feel-good lady that everybody loves.
Listen, does Mark need to leave or something? Does Mark need to leave because he's really desperate to say something?
No. I have some breaking news.
Go
Not
on.
about us.
Go on, then.
Newcastle,
Hit us with it.
Newcastle have signed Dan Burn.
Yep, that was going to happen.
Oh my
Remind
God.
me.
So it looks like Brighton are no longer a better team than us.
Oh, Dan Burn from Brighton.
Alex is right.
How did they
That's
take
good.
him out of
That's
Brighton,
one
bro?
defender less we got to get round. He's a big, tall guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's 6'7"
I
or
really
something.
hope Newcastle go down. I hope
Yeah.
with every
Yes.
facet of my being
It'd be
they
so
go
funny.
down, but
Yeah.
they just won't now.
They won't now.
Right, Dermo, let's read some of these comments, Sunshine. You've got the wheel.
Glasses time.
Dermot
I can't
at
hear
the
you,
wheel.
Dermot.
Come on then.
Dermot at the wheel.
Let's get this show on the road.
You're on mute, mate.
I can't hear you.
He's doing a Mr.
From
K, bro. Mr. K does those type of things.
Hello.
Hello. Oh no.
This is the wrong way.
Is that wrong? It's just-
Oh,
Look, Graham's saying
looks
good
like I'm
evening,
reading-
everyone.
I'm reading the comments, but I can't bring them up because they haven't given me the privileges yet. I'm still the cabin
I
boy
think
of
Daz
Tottenham.
is trying to dazzle us by saying Justin Dybala.
So
Really?
Carl Simpson is saying, I feel confident for top four. No, yeah, we've read this one. Phil
Yeah.
Hollywood Lettice is saying Wilma Dick fit.
Yes.
Phil?
Wilma, I have to say, Dick Fit is a really exciting one for
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah. So Shamu
funny,
Van
though.
Spurs is saying thoughts on the Swedish striker, large anus.
Mm.
A good player. It spreads the ball very well.
But there's question marks. There's question marks over what's it called? Over his ability to sort of hold things in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right Heart Lane is saying, I didn't know YouTube had a private chat. It does. on
It's not.
StreamYard.
It's StreamYard. It's StreamYard. The
Yeah.
StreamYard that runs it. There's a private chat for the people who are in the stream to talk to each other.
Yeah.
About
You know,
whatever.
like say one of us needs to go on a break or we need to like leave
Yeah,
early or something.
yeah.
We can type a message in. The host will know that we have to leave early. They can then ease us into the conversation, then ease us out. It's
That's
really for
right.
practical reasons. And all
Alexander
kinds of
Hilton is
hilarity in
singing
terms of
the
what we're
same
sharing.
song, Nah Steak. He's also saying, why is the Monopoly man here?
Na,
Well,
na, na,
because
na,
we have a
na,
monopoly
na,
on the
na, na.
hilarious times here. Ellie is saying, Vladimir, who'd you nick your bollock off?
Who's your Nikobolikov? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd you nick your bollock off?
You're not pressing these, by the way.
I can't press them. You haven't given me
Can that Vladimir who did it your Bolokov, can he hold the balls up well?
Yes. Yes, he
Yeah.
can. Yes, he can.
Alexander
He's
Hilton
very
is
good
saying,
at-
State Train, whoop whoop.
He's good at collecting balls. Let's put it that way.
Is there any
Yeah.
news or not? No, there isn't.
Oh boy.
Except for Dan
I
Burn.
wish there was some transfer news.
I met Alex at the protest today. Good guy. Good chap.
Alex is a geezer.
Yeah.
He's saying the right.
2 minutes left. Right
Yeah.
wing back is still needed. Yes, it is.
It could be done. It could be done in a minute and a half. You never know.
It's
Are
coming. It's
Are
coming.
you doing the link or not?
No.
Unfortunately, Alex, we will not be singing the state song tonight. Your streams are only for Saturday nights with Coover and Phil Lettice because me and Dermot are very busy men.
I want to hear this song, by the way.
Well, come
So
on,
you have to
Friday
tune
night,
into-
you can listen to
Go
it.
and watch
I'll be
there on
Saturday's
Friday.
stream. Go and watch
You have
Saturday's
to join in for Tottenham Tantrum Gold every Saturday night at 11 o'clock p.m.
Yes.
Friday
It was
night.
Friday.
mate. Friday night.
You just write
Well,
that down,
well,
Dave. I don't
well,
see it. I don't believe it.
Mark is saying, who is they? To you.
Yeah. Have we
Have we signed
anyone
anyone yet?
Okay.
I've
Have
got
we
Sky
signed
Sports
anyone
News on. I've got Sky Sports News on in the background. No.
I tried to say it in a West Country accent. Who is
Oh.
say? I be
Right,
that
can I just
Appleby.
say we've got 45 seconds left of the transfer window.
Right, let's see if we can get to the bottom of the comments before that happens.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing,
Still
bing.
another 2 hours. Oh,
Yep.
bloody hell.
Not anymore. Not anymore. He's well behind.
Alex Fitzpatrick is still sniffing shroom tea. Yep, he is.
Next.
Arsenal 1 injury away from starting Nketiah for 6 months.
Yeah. 6 months.
Hopefully they do.
Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
Steak tea.
Keep going, Ben. Keep going.
Alexander Hilton, you mean gravy? Yep.
Yep.
Is there any peppercorn with that steak juices?
Big up
In
Aaron
fact,
Dyer.
in fact,
Aaron
fact.
Dunn, that sounds delicious.
We've got
Alexander
15
Hilton.
seconds left, Ben.
Come on, do it.
right. Alex Hilton,
Wolves
Wolves.
don't have the team to get top 4. Evening, Graham. Big up. Gaza Hotspur, just him.
On my day, there's
Dybala.
more
I wish
comments.
his friends good luck. Dermot's at the wheel when we say blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no, we're not going to do it.
Spurs trying to push
No.
for an opinion on
No.
Cockabita.
The window has now closed.
Shit.
Bingo! Bingo! Okay, so listen, I'm going to quickly go check the
No,
Hotspur
so
website
11
and so on, and see if they've done a deal in the last 2 seconds. Man City signed
you've got a little bit
Argentinian
of
forward
leeway.
Alvarez. Okay,
Yes.
apparently there was
Yeah, they
forwards to be
have.
bought.
Yeah.
Oh my
Burnley
God, he's so
signed
good.
striker. Listen, Burnley signed a striker, man. Man City signs a forward.
Yeah.
Man United has got so many forwards they're willing to give one away to the police.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police.
Right, has anyone messed up the Dele Alli deal?
It hasn't been announced
I've
yet.
just seen
actually.
him in
They've got
Everton
an hour.
shirt.
They've got to midnight for
I
that
just
to come
posted.
through.
Okay, that's
I
midnight
just
then.
posted
I think the
him in an
finer
Everton
details are
shirt
done on that one,
ball.
to be honest.
Yeah. Listen, I might cover some of this stuff in a little bit more tomorrow on my show, because when all the dust is settled and everything, we know what's what.
Yeah.
And we will plug your
Yeah.
show at the end of the show, Mr. K. Don't you worry, sir. As well as Mr.
Yeah.
Rez's show, as well
Yeah.
as Mark, wherever the
lovely.
hell he is half the time, as well as Ellie, whenever she's
the
going to
pub.
start her challenge.
Yeah.
In the pub. That's
Yeah.
where we want to see you.
Can I just say, Ellie, thank you for coming on my show tonight. It's an honour to have you on.
That's all right,
Damn
darling.
it. Where's
Oh.
your mic gone all... you sound like you're talking from the other side of the room.
My audio's gone funny, so I'm down.
Yeah,
You know
so
what?
I
It
hear a
sounds
lot of
better.
crackling.
Unfortunately, Ellie, you're crackling quite a bit. There must be, if you're wearing a
Okay.
headphone, then there's probably a wire connection or
So I'll
something.
take it off.
Um,
I'll turn the
I think if you-
headphone off.
yeah. See what happens.
See what happens. We might get some natural reverb from
Wow,
the
that's
room.
crackly's gone. Now talk something.
Say something, surely.
Is that better?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
a million
yeah.
times better.
Yeah.
Right, guys, don't say that again. All right, it might get worse. I mean, it's good enough.
Right. Now the window's shut. I'll go around to each bit. I want your windows out of 10. Ben,
6. I've said it a few times.
Rez,
2.
Wow.
Alex,
4.
Mark.
5 in the middle.
Okay. Mr. K.
It's a January transfer window. I'll give it a 7. I would have given it an 8, but players weren't good enough. But I'll give it a
I'm
7.
giving it a 1.
Whoa, harsh man, you're hard to
I
please.
thought no one could be as cynical as Rez. And you've gone
What did
unfair.
Raz, what did you give
How
it?
dare you,
Oh,
Bernard?
no.
How dare you?
It's
We need-
the Irish in
You
you.
need
these
to
up.
be 2.1 so Rez can be the cynical person in the chat. How dare you on your show?
Hey,
Right.
Alex is on my side. He knows. He knows. Oh, we got rid of the Mad Hatter.
Oh, God.
Alexander
Oh, yeah.
Well, these-
37. Bloody hell.
Gee, there's only one problem with the Mad Hatter. He drinks tea, but this is an expert in coffee.
Ah.
There you go.
Is the Mad Cuppa?
Yeah. Alexander Hilton said 7. Phil's
That's
giving it.
amazing.
Oh, wait. You know that crackling is still there, so you might as well
That's
just put your
more like
headphones
it,
back
Phil.
on.
Well done.
It's still
Let me
the
double
same.
check. It's not. No, it's not me.
I think it's a disconnection. I think maybe no, it doesn't matter now. We're towards like this part of the show, so it doesn't matter. We put up with it. It's better than that fan noise we heard earlier. Crikey.
Sorry, yeah. Well, that was Dele Alli landing at Merseyside Airport.
There you go. Dele Alli landed finally. Breaking news: Spurs made a last-minute approach for Afghan starlet Mando Mamajur. Someone please pronounce that in case he's pulling my leg.
Mondo
pulling your leg, really.
Mama Durangos.
Yeah.
That might be a real name, G. You never know.
I think he's I think he wants Dermot to read it out.
Yeah, he knows I can't. That's why he sent it to me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's just cruel, that is, Kuva. That's
Yeah.
just nasty.
Guys,
I
can we
know.
pause for 1 teeny second and
So
say
he likes to test me.
the bun?
The boon.
The boon. Boon. I think somebody asked in a private chat or something that should we send a link out to Mr.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Should I send him the link?
I think we should just put it in the stream, mate, because even
We
Jason
did, but I'm
Groves
gonna
is in
send
the
it
house.
directly to...
It is in the stream already.
Yeah, I'm going to send it to
just
Bun
done
it's a
direct.
long way up,
jumping
though,
on.
Ellie,
So if you want to send it privately to Ben, send it privately.
Yeah,
done
because I made the mistake once of putting it in the stream.
Yeah, did you get Alex Hilton in and he starts singing about steaks for about 10 years?
No, I got lots of nice people in, but I kind of lost my head with it.
And
I saw that.
And then he brought
Big
out
up to
Archie
Alex Hilton, by the way. It's
And then he
hilarious.
brought out
He's
Archie
hilarious,
Keith.
bro. I swear to God. Alex,
And-
man, you done well. Right, Carl Simpson, 5 out of 10 purely because of Deadwood. You know what?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I gave it a 7. I gave it 5 for moving out
Yeah.
the
I gave
Deadwood
it a
and 2 for bringing in 2 extra players.
Yeah.
That's why I gave it a 2. If we'd got, if we'd only got those 2 players, it probably would
You
have
know
been
how
a
hard
lot.
it's been to try to get rid of Delhi, bruv. I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's completely
Impossible.
done,
Done it.
but
So
at
Ryan
least
McFarlane,
Levy's.
2 out of 10.
But we're judging.
Oi,
We're judging
oi, oi. Danny
my own view.
Kiriakou.
Look,
He thinks you're looking dapper, mate.
Danny Kiriakou. The reason I say 2 is I look at the transfer window,
So
not
you don't
in
need to
terms
justify.
of, not in terms
Give
of
it-
the
give it-
individual. I look at the squad before the transfer window and look at the squad after the transfer window. Right, our squad is
Yeah.
thinner. We are more susceptible to injury. We took ages to get players in, and they seem to be, as I've described it, running down to McDonald's when your cooker isn't working. For me, you put all of that together, and it's a 2. There have been
Wow.
good things in it. Yeah, getting rid of Deadwood, fantastic, really great. But overall, in a squad, panic buys late in the window, very little spent. That for me becomes a 2. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Valid points, all of them.
Same as my Irish brother up in Derry, Ryan.
Ooh,
And can I
Ryan's
just
backing you up, mate,
also
all the
say-
way.
Can I also say, big up to the people of Derry yesterday with their thing for their commemorations of people of Bloody Sunday. It happened 50 years ago yesterday.
Yeah.
Big up to them and the 14 families. May they all rest in peace. And I hope that each of the families find peace and resolution in their quest for the truth to come out. What happened that dreadful day. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it's offended anyone who says, but big up to them families up in Derry and big up Brian.
Right, let's move on. Right, Hart Lane, is there any way I can DM you guys, Dermot, about coming on sometime? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can DM me on Twitter at Tottenham Tantrum, or you can find Kuba's Twitter on there. Phil's Twitter.
Can you type your Twitter handle into the comments for them to read, and then they know they can just copy that and put that into Twitter?
Yeah,
might make it easy for them.
Give us your Twitter handle.
Let me.
Right, Hart Lane. If you give us your Twitter handle,
No, but then he'd be brought on.
And
That'd be a good idea. Not at this stage. Anyway.
no, why? Everyone wants their Twitter handle known, so they want more followers.
But just find me on Tottenham Tantrum
I'm gonna find you.
on
I'm
Twitter.
gonna find you, mate.
Yeah.
My Twitter handle is in my name. When the comments go on, I don't follow me. I don't even block people who take the piss. Sorry.
Fair enough. We're not
Danny,
moderate.
Which one are you? Listen, Dermot.
Yeah.
Which is it? Just Tottenham Tantrum or Tottenham Tantrum Gold?
Tottenham Tantrum Gold.
No, Tottenham Tantrum.
Because I've
Oh,
got
is
over
it?
here.
What?
Dermot. Is it Dermot 2? Is it Miles Dermot 2?
Let's see. What
Miles
secret-
Dermot. Miles Dermot 2.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, I'll type it into the chat. All right.
Yeah. And also, we're on Facebook on Tottenham Tantrum Gold, all one word. We're on Facebook as well and Instagram as well. And then we've got Jason Gross here. Ben, do you want to read these ones out, please?
Oh, yeah. With ins and outs, I would give it a 5.5. Yeah, I'd agree with that, possibly. 4, 1 for each of the signings, 1 for Luis contract extensions, 1 for getting rid of some of Edward. Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
Giving one for transfers harsh, but pretty close.
I would say to Shamu with the 4, Lloris's contract didn't need to be extended in the transfer window. It's nothing to do with the transfer window. You could have given him a new contract anytime. So you'd need to knock one off for that one, I think.
Yeah. Giving one for the transfers harsh, but pretty close, unfortunately. Yeah, you're right. You're welcome to your opinion, sir. That's the point in this channel. Eugene is saying it's 7 a.m. over here in Malaysia. Big up to Eugene, and thank you for watching, sir.
And he says,
brilliant show.
Leave me out.
Yep. 5 out of 10. We bought in players in January. Hashtag leave it out. Get the picture up, Mr. K. Leave it out. Leave it out.
I was trying to refrain myself.
Yeah, I was just going to get through these, Ellie, and come straight to you. Sorry. I just want to get through these comments very quickly. Go on, Ben.
Jason Groves, that sucks. I've never used Twitter.
That's White Hart Lane.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. I've only just installed it myself.
Jason Groves, Twitter is evil. Don't do it. I agree with you. It's why I deleted it.
It is evil. It is evil, but you can navigate and keep yourself in. Just don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Delhi is done. The sheet is in. So got the extra time, but it's complete. Sky have just confirmed. Good stuff.
Brilliant. Delhi gone.
Look, someone's very happy about this transfer window. They just positively can't contain themselves.
Leave out.
Leave out.
Leave out.
Point of screen.
Leave out. Or is he doing something else, Mr. K?
You know what it is? You know what it is? For this particular moment in time, there's our new players.
Yeah.
Right? These are the new players we've got. And as far as I'm concerned, going to give them a great welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, boys, for taking the plunge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look very happy. He's dancing. You're doing the samba.
I know a Brazilian who would take exception to that.
Okay. He's going to zoom. Listen, wait till I start doing animations. When I start doing animations on this, that's going to kill you guys. I've got some really crazy shit coming up.
Guys, I'm going to have to wish you a good night and drop off because there's someone else who's invited me onto their stream and I don't want to leave. I've already left them waiting for ages. And I've got to do one quick because to be honest, I only got back from the transfer window like 10, 15 minutes before I jumped on the stream. So I've got to go and do a couple of things before I go on this stream and then finally get to bed. So thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming, guys.
You want to plug your channel very quickly?
Plug your channel.
You can find us on Shelfside Spurs Show. We're very anarchic. It's hosted by the wonderful Johnny Einstein, and we get the likes of insert name here on there for those of you who are in the know about insert name here. Nick, Sean, Barry, as he's known, Gaz, Kev, Alan, and on Thursday is a very special show. We are getting Mickey Hazard on. So please do come and watch on Thursday. 7:30, we're going to kick off with the wonderful Mickey Hazard, and we're going to be asking questions and having a lot of fun, and it'll be great to see you guys. So, and if you want to follow me,
watching, but big up, Rez. Thank you for coming on.
Really appreciate it. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, my hashtag, my Twitter handle is @bat_spur, and I just talk rubbish. So come along and talk rubbish back.
Yeah, and very quick, Rez, before you go, what's happening next for the protest? Where are you protesting tomorrow, or what's happening?
I don't think there's anything on for tomorrow. I think there's going to be an element of breathing space while people decide, what the sort of next steps are, and then, I'm sure we're going to see more. It's not over. Things haven't really changed in my view. So, until we get 4 or 5 transfer windows, proper ones, in which we show intent and show that we're actually, acting like the 6th most successful club in English football history, I think there's still going to be a lot of opposition. So that's my personal view anyway. All right.
And I'll hopefully see you on the 13th as well, Rez, because I'm over there for the World Game.
Absolutely. So my big love to everyone, and everyone in the chat, everyone on the panel. Big love to you guys. And,
you're still here.
Okay.
Big up, Rez.
Crikey, man! I've been to the bathroom and back.
Special guest at the moment.
Go on, Ben. Give them the introduction he deserves.
Everybody. Do.
We need Brian, mate. He sings it. Get your guitar out, bro.
Ben does it good as well.
I'm actually going to go because Ben's getting me my ticket to the Wolves game. Me and Ben are going to start singing that.
Brian's got so many people singing it. He's so many people. He
gets upset when people try to associate it to someone else.
I know he's relaxing now. He's just chilled out now because it's been a long day for him.
Dirty long day, bro. It's freezing cold out there.
And you as well, Kate, yeah.
I was only there today, really. I mean,
I saw you on BBC News, mate. I saw you on BBC News.
Was that on BBC News? What was I doing there?
You're on BBC News.
They don't normally let me on BBC News. I got a beard on my
brown sexy beard.
Yeah, Rez was there.
Beard.
Rez was on there. Kim was on there. You can see Brian Daigle on there. You see quite a lot of people. But I mean, so I can't put my camera on because my camera's not working for some reason. It's just not recognizing it. So yeah, but
you need some tech support. Give me a ring on the side, mate.
Right. Very quickly, Ben, do you want to get through these comments quickly?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, the glasses time.
Oh, I'll DM you on Facebook from Right Heart Lane. Brilliant. Kiva99, who the hell's that? Breaking, Tottenham Hotspur FC women's team have clinched the loan signing of German youngster Carmela Torres.
Not bad.
Not bad. Hi guys, just finished work. Love your costume. It's not costume, it's style.
Now, what do you mean work?
I've sent you a link. Come on and let's have your views on the transfer window.
The Joker is coming. Mr. K.
Oh, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right, viewers out there, I think it was the gentleman, I think it was Alex or who was it?
White Hart
Lane.
Yeah, White Hart Lane. That's the Dermot's Tottenham Tantrum Twitter handle. Please use that. Follow him. He'll follow you back, and you guys can then send messages to each other, okay? Right, who's making all that crackly sounds, man?
Not
Danny,
me.
what you up to, mate? What are you up to, Danny?
I'm on mute, mate.
Other clubs would have come in for him, though, if they weren't to extend, maybe.
Yep.
William Kelly saying, sorry, boys, got kicked out. If you want to jump back in, you've got all the time.
Yep.
Go on, William.
The Truth sets free, saying steak sausage. The Truth has gone down the path of non-righteousness with Alex Hilton.
Yeah.
Right Heart Lane is saying, love seeing Rez on the show. Absolutely love seeing Rez. It makes us all look slightly more, genuine as a streamer.
Right. You know what? I think if you look at the rest of the comments, they're pretty much no steak, right? Yeah. This would be the really good time, right? Yeah, to ask Danny. Danny, 2 simple questions, mate. Were you happy with the transfer window, and do you think we can compete with top 4 now?
No.
There you go. Give it 1 out. Give it between up to 10. What would you give this particular transfer window in January?
This window, I just said on Twitter just now. 3.5, I would say, maybe 4 maximum. Earlier on, I gave it a 5, but I've lowered it because, I mean, we've got rid of. I saw a tweet. What was it? I think 6 or 7 players, and we've got in 2 players, and we basically all of our attacking midfielders are now gone, so we have no central attacking midfielders, and the way Conte wants to play. Obviously, he wants to play the 3-5-2, but he can't do that now because the players that he's got only allow him to play the 3-5, the 3-4-3 formation. So we're going to see that more and more this season, unfortunately. And it is very underwhelming. Now, people have argued the fact that we've got rid of the toxic players, which I think is probably the best bit of business that we have done. And it is going to help the mentality of the whole squad. And I think Conte probably believes that because he obviously wanted those 3 players out the squad no matter what. He obviously was probably expecting some replacements, some more players in. He didn't get that. There were obviously it's difficult to do deals in January, but I'm sure they could have done more if they didn't leave it to the last day to do like 1 million deals. They could have done a lot of business in this window, but it's Tottenham, so what do you expect? And the problem is the only way we get top 4 is on so many kind of conditions, right? So first of all, the squad has to be fully fit for the rest of the season. Each one of our best players has to be fit and firing, on fire, on complete form for the rest of the season. And we need a bit of luck as well. And if we don't have, and also, if we don't have any of that, or one of those 3 things we don't have, we're not going to make top 4. It's going to be incredibly difficult. Now, I know the teams around us are not playing very well at the moment, which is going to be the best chance to get into the top 4. Because Man United didn't strengthen. They actually weakened their squad. Arsenal weakened their squad. So those are two teams that are pretty much competing for that 4th spot with, and they've both weakened their squads. So
Danny,
have as well. But yeah, go on.
Danny, I was going to say, listen, sometimes when you get rid of certain players in your squad, it allows a harmony to come together with the rest of the players. I mean, do you think that may have an effect on, say, for example, our team or Man United team?
It might do. It might do. I think that's what I was reading a report, and one of the reasons why Conte wanted those 3 in particular out was because of, obviously, he believed, or there was a report saying that he believed that if he had a more dedicated group to what he to the cause, essentially, then it's going to obviously create a better mentality, which essentially it should do. But it's that again, when you're bringing in foreign players, it's always a gamble. You've got a 24-year-old in Bentancur, and you've got who hasn't really hit the heights that he hit since Juventus last won the title, right? Which was a couple of years ago, when he was quite crucial to their team under I can't remember the manager now, but
Sarri, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sarri. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, under Sarri. He was very crucial under that team.
I've got some memory left, Danny.
I know.
Sorry, the one that's didn't Sarri show us the 3-4-3 when he was around?
Yeah, that was his kind of formation he liked to play.
Sarri was much more of a 4-2-3-1 with Jorginho dropping in the pocket. He did sometimes do it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ben's right.
So basically, if you look at Arsenal, for example, right? Yeah, they got rid of a toxic ex-captain, right? And there are a lot of young players that they needed to become lions. By taking away him, it now the challenge is basically on the players.
Of course, but problem is you've seen it in the last few weeks. Their squad is not good enough. They've got one striker, Premier League striker, Lacazette. Right, I know we have one striker, but obviously Harry Kane is fucking like worlds apart from Lacazette, right? And the thing is, if Lacazette's not playing well, not scoring goals, and the other players are not playing well, then they're not scoring, and that's the thing. Like we've got probably more players who can score goals, but again, it's going to be a big ask. And if I'm honest, if we can keep our players fit, this is the best chance we're going to have of getting top 4. Yeah. Because if we need like top 4 more than other clubs do, right? And if we can get the top 4, it's going to completely change our plans in the week in the summer. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a couple more. We might even see some shocks in the summer. I'm not saying it's going to happen because we know what Tottenham and Daniel Levy are like. But you might see a surprise like free transfer of like a Dybala or someone like that, or Kessie might decide he actually wants to join Spurs because we're in the Champions League. Then you've got 2 players you haven't had to pay anything for apart from their agent fees and their signing on fees, which is essentially the transfer fee, right? Which we let a lot less for players of their quality than an actual like 50-40 million pound transfer fee for you'd normally pay them. So the Champions League is going to be so key to us, and it's just a shame that we didn't get more players in to help for that cause, because if we miss out on top 4, it's going to be such a repercussions that's going to happen. You could see Harry Kane handing a transfer request, possibly. You could see some other top players maybe thinking, are we going to really get the players we need to push for top 4 the next season? It's going to completely change our ambitions for next season because of the type of caliber of player that we can bring in. So yeah, look, it is good to get those players out that we've got out, but again, it's just you know what Tottenham are like. Tottenham are gonna have injuries. We are gonna have injuries, and it's how we're gonna cope. Now, the only thing you can say that's potentially quite interesting to see is that he's gonna have to rely on some of those youngsters, right? Unfortunately, that's the case. Now, it's a shame because you don't want to have to put them into the situation where they're going to have a lot of pressure on them because they're the only choice. But let's see. Some of them like Harvey White might get a few games. He might get a little bit of a run and see what he can do. They might even give some other players, some other youngsters, a bit of game time because the squad is so thin. And if we do start picking up injuries or COVID starts coming back again or whatever, it's gonna affect us. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the squad copes when we do get these injuries. But I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest with you. I would have been very happy if we got a creative midfielder or a right wing back for me. And now we're going to have to rely on Conte's going to have to pick and choose whether it's going to be Emerson or Doherty, and they're not very good choices in a system that relies heavily on wing backs.
But Danny, what would you give this transfer window out of 10 for a January transfer window?
3.5.
3.5, I said,
3.5. Okay, you've actually been generous because I think some people actually gave it a 2.
I gave it a 5 initially, right?
Yeah.
But I've taken it down because the most of my scoring is pretty much for the players out, because it is a big thing. It's a start, but we're going to have to revisit some of these players in the summer. Lo Celso, again, on loan, right? No one might not want to take him. Hopefully someone takes him and we get a deal for him. Ndombele, I can't see Lyon paying 65 million euros for him. That's an option, unless, like someone was mentioning earlier on, that it could be like a deal where they do a deal with Paris Saint-Germain, like a kind of, they sign the player for 65 million and sell him on for 65 million straight away, or do you know what I mean? Something like that. It could be something like that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, we needed one more player. But it is what it is.
What did you say, Dermot? What are you going to say, Dermot?
Right. The Everton have actually the deal sheet in with the Premier League to complete the signing of Dele Alli from Tottenham. So am I right now? They have another hour to have that deal completed. Am I right?
Yes, something like that. Or to at least 1 a.m.
I think it's a bit later. I think it is.
Yeah.
And also the Arsenal striker, who a name that I can never pronounce.
Yeah,
Aubameyang.
Yeah, he's now signed for Barcelona on a free transfer.
Yeah.
I mean, he must be counting his lucky stars.
Oh yeah, definitely. But have you noticed, right? There's been a lot of crazy deals this window. Like, for example, Aubameyang, he was a free transfer, right? And players like even Dele Alli, essentially, he is a free transfer based on, and all the money that we can earn is based on performances and performance-related things, basically. So it's some crazy deals.
Danny, that we could have got him out of the club.
Potentially, yeah. I think Paratici has done incredibly well with those deals to get those players out of the club, because essentially Conte probably would have said, right, these players need to go in January, because he's obviously seen something in those 3 players, and whatever it is, whether it's the toxicity, the effort levels that they're not giving, and he wanted them out, and Paratici has done that. So that is good on him. I won't be calling Paratici the Don word until I start seeing some high caliber players come into this team,
and we start winning.
And we have to start winning. Exactly. Ben is spot on. And for me, look, Dele Alli, I think that's a brilliant deal for him. I think it's the perfect manager for him. Hopefully he can rekindle some of his form that he had in the early years at Tottenham, and it'd be lovely to see him doing well. It's a shame that it got to where it got to with him, because he had such high hopes for us. Every single Spurs fan absolutely loved him. It just, unfortunately, the last 3 years he's been not even a shadow of himself, to be honest with you, which is a shame to see. Ndombele, I think he was probably the biggest one to get out, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I think the good thing is Tottenham. This is a massive window. Tottenham have saved a lot of money on wages and stuff like that.
If that's the case, it's a lot of money. Like, would you understand it if I gave the transfer window a 7? Because I considered that getting rid of the Deadwood was important, and 5 was a score for that. Bringing in 2 mediocre players is like a 2. I gave it a 7. I mean, is there an understanding? Am I wrong with the way I'm thinking there? Like I'm being too generous or something?
If that's what you want to give it, that's your opinion, right? No one can take that away from you. It's just in my opinion, it's the fact that,
because I'm thinking the same way as you. I'm thinking exactly the same as you, which is I'm thinking I like the fact that we got rid of Deadwood. I'm not super impressed with the players we've got, but then they're still players, right?
Look, we were crying out for an attacking midfielder, and we've brought in a defensive-minded player who is more progressive. Like, he is more, he does think forward more than the players that we have. Yeah, but is he going to take to the Premier League? Is he going to be better? The only thing is that you've got a coach in someone like Conte, who is the best, one of the best coaches in the world, in my opinion, top 3 coaches in the world. And if anyone's going to get a tune out of Kulusevski and Bentancur, is going to be him. Now, if he can get them playing at a level where they're better than where they were at Juventus in the last year or two, right? Or he can get Kulusevski back to the level where he was Serie A Young Player of the Year last season, or season before, I think it was. Then it's gonna be a real good additions to our team. But again,
do you think these two guys, like, do you think that Conte said, I want some players, this is what I want, and then Paratici said, hey, but what are these two?
Look, Paratici's obviously has got a fixation on Kulusevski. He's wanted him. There's been links of Kulusevski for a long time, right? But the problem is they probably looked at it and tried to get for Luis Diaz and whoever else they wanted first, right? And he was like the kind of third option. And because it was running out of time, they needed to get someone in. So he was able to do a deal where it worked, where we're paying Juventus an 18-month loan deal where we're paying an initial, what was it, 8 million up front or something like that. And then the rest of it is spread over a course of 5 years, apparently, if on certain terms, if we get Champions League, it becomes mandatory. So it's not even a mandatory thing. It only becomes mandatory on certain conditions, right? So we get Champions League football, then it becomes, I think, or whatever it is, it becomes mandatory. Now, that's a good deal because we're not paying anything up front, right? But again, Bentancur, again, we're paying an initial, a few million, and then the rest of it is split over 3 years. So they're hardly paying anything up front. Yeah. And that, in a sense, is a good business deal. And that is why Daniel Levy loves Paratici, because he's got the same mind as him in terms of how to do deals. He wants to do the cheapest deals possible, the best way to structure a deal, so that you're not having to outlay a massive amount of money in one hit, which then technically can allow Tottenham, you would think, if they get Champions League football, that should allow them to spend a lot more money in the summer or in a bigger one-time hit. But if they're going to go for players in the Italian league, more likely than not, they're going to do more of these kind of deals where it's going to be structured. And essentially, that's
going to be paid in the summertime for some players that we've got right now.
Yeah, like Romero.
Romero's going to be the big one, right? But again, even Romero, I think, I'm not sure if I'm right on this or not, but I can't remember if I read this. But even the Romero deal was a structured deal. It's not. We're not going to have to pay the 50 million pounds in one go or 40 million pounds in one hit. It's 40 million or 42 million euros or something like that. 42 million pounds.
Spread out, do you think?
Yeah, it's spread out over a couple years.
I want to bring up the Dele Alli deal because Mr. Spurs brought it out before he started slacking us all off. The way
he didn't. He's just saying things.
The reason he's done this deal is if he goes on a free transfer and then after the free transfer they start giving us money, is none of the money have to go to MK Dons, which is that is a Levy deal according to Mr. Spurs.
Yeah.
So that is a horrible thing to do because MK Dons could do with some money because they're not a brilliant club anymore.
So but there's a fixation amongst some of the Spurs fans that whenever we screw anyone over, apparently, we need to go on the streets and celebrate how wonderfully clever our team is.
I don't like seeing people being screwed over. When you leave a business deal, everyone should feel happy. That's the way all business deals work.
They come around again next time. I mean, these clubs are not going to disappear. They're still going to be here 10 years from now. So
what if MK Dons are a championship-winning team, and then they said, "Oh, I don't want to sell a player to Tottenham. They screwed us over 2 years ago."
Yeah.
Can I just say there's 33 people watching.
Wow.
Everyone, like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Let's turn that red subscribe button into a white one. Please, everyone. And I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've got 2 questions here for the panel. I'll let you read them out, Ben, and then we'll start with Danny, and then we'll go to Mark and Mr. K, and then yourself to discuss them. So read that one out there for us, Ben.
It's good. Ellie is saying, "Big up, Ellie." It's going to be so weird seeing Dele play for Everton, lads, but I'm glad he's gone because he has been deadwood for 3 seasons. And let's see if Lampard can get a tune out of him. It's up to Dele as well.
Yeah.
Danny, what do you say to
that? To be honest with you, no, I don't think so. I mean, look, I was watching some of the stuff on YouTube I saw today about Dele Alli and how good he used to be. And of course, Tottenham fans are going to be sentimental about that because he was part of an era where we were so close to winning the pinnacle of football, right? And he was crucial to that team. He was crucial to us. He was such a talented player, but unfortunately, he went off the rails a bit, and it kind of coincided with with the belief once Poch lost that complete belief in Daniel Levy and the board, and then the belief in what he was doing because he wasn't getting back the right way that he needed to get back, and when it all started falling apart, it was like the beginning of the end, really, for our kind of era, that period, and it's been dragged out so long over the last few years to try and get back to a point where we can start rebuilding again. And we should have started rebuilding 3 years ago. But look, for me, it's not going to be weird because I want to see Dele Alli do well. It'd be nice to see him do well because you want to see a talented footballer because you want to be entertained. And he is a talented footballer. Unfortunately, he just is not a talented footballer at Tottenham anymore. And someone was saying he's been at Tottenham for what, 7 years, is it? That's a long time to be a football club, right? Especially when it's got so stale. And he was part of that kind of that team that got so close. And I think
still young.
Yeah, I think the only players who I wanted to stay in that team from that Champions League team were the 3 players that are still here, which are Lloris, Kane, and Son. That was it. They're the only 3 players I want because they're world-class players. Dele Alli, he had that world-class ability and that potential because he was playing like a world-class player at times, but he just let life get the better of him. And I think Lampard is the perfect manager to get him back to where he can play. Whether he does it or not, like the guy on Sky Sports was saying today, it's completely up to Dele. If Dele wants to get back to those levels, it's up to him. No one else. Jose Mourinho said it to him as well. No one else, it's him. If he doesn't want to get back to those levels, that's his choice, and we're never going to see the Dele Alli that we saw again. I don't personally think he'll ever get back to those levels. But yeah, look, it's good he is gone because he needed to go. He needed a change of scenery. He was a toxic player in the dressing room, I think, because even though players liked him, I think that it was his mentality, and he was part of that downfall and that team that lost the complete belief. And he hasn't got the mentality to do what Kane could do or what Son could do or what Lloris can do, right? He hasn't got that mentality of a world-class player, a world-class professional. So, yeah, I think it's up to him, and I think Ali is spot on. Apart from, I don't think it will be weird seeing him play for them. I think it'll be a good thing, to be honest. I would like to enjoy him because if he is still playing shit, then he's playing shit in another team and not us.
Mark,
right? Is it me?
Great, Mark, go on.
Right. First of all, big up, Danny. I've never spoke to you before.
I was about to say big up, yeah, because I haven't spoke to you on a stream. So yeah, I was going to say welcome, man. Big up to you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Right, Dele Alli, I think he was finished when Eriksen left.
Yes, yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Like, he always fed, Eriksen provided for him. All right, he's give us some wonderful memories, but let's face it, he's been shite for the last 2 years, at least.
More than that.
Well, all right, 3 years, and I didn't want to, drop myself in it. But he's been, he's not been in, well, but, when we played Chelsea and he was doing, what was it, TikTok or something? I don't even understand what that is. I don't even understand what that is. I mean, you can't be doing that. You know? I mean, so he probably needed a new change. It's good for us that we got him out. So good luck to him. As long as you don't play well against us, it's win-win.
You know he's bagging a hat-trick against us.
Let's hope not.
Typical Tottenham.
Yeah. Dr. Tottenham, we'll see you now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. K?
Right. Is it going to be weird seeing Dele play for Everton? Definitely, 100%. You got to remember that this guy worked his way into our heart, right? And we've been sad ever since the last season that Poch was there. There wasn't enough performance by coming out of him to save Poch, right? Whatever the reason was, right? And then you got 2 more deadly seasons after that. You know, Dele's brothers playing. So the answer is it going to be weird? The answer is definitely 100%, man. This guy's been our team, through and through. So that's going to be weird. Now, when it comes down to whether Lampard can get a tune out of him, in my heart, I want Dele to go away somewhere and find a new sort of life, a new mojo, right? And we need to say bye, because the old Dele, he ain't coming back. Because that old Dele didn't play by himself. He had people around him, plus a coach, plus a system that worked very well for him. Second striker. Ericsson to put a ball in the sixpence for him, for him to sneak on the last defender and pop the ball in the back of the net. The only problem is those same maneuvers in the last year, I've seen them happen where the balls end up in exactly the same place, but he's failed to put the ball in the back of the net. We may have gone to win that particular game, but life would have been damn sight easier if he put the ball away. Now, it could be another Bergwijn where just that little bit of clickness, just that little bit of confidence is missing from him, and he can't get his mojo from Tottenham fans. Fine. Go to the Toffees. Got nothing against you, mate. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to scream like bad things when you come along and come back to our club to play against us. Chances are he's probably going to try to score a goal to impress his manager or to put one back and say, yeah, man, this is how I really feel. We don't know. A lot of these footballers, we don't really know what's going inside them until they come out later on when they do their memoirs and stuff. It's up to Delhi. As I agree with Ali. It's up to Delhi. Totally up to him. Good luck to him. I will feel a bit weird seeing him in another shirt. Trust me, I will. Like, part of my heart does not believe he's actually gone. Seriously, until I see him wearing the other t-shirt, I'm not going to believe it. Okay? Right? So, this is like, it's bittersweet for me. Honestly, God, it's bittersweet. I don't know how anyone else feels.
And Ben, quickly.
It's a hollow victory for us, really, because we finally got him out the squad. It is a victory that we've got him out. Because, unfortunately, for the last 3 years, he's been absolutely poor. He's been he's been someone he's dragged the team down. I mean, it's just that, and you can't say he hasn't been given the opportunities. He's been given plenty of opportunities. He could have saved his career if he'd put those 2 goals in against Liverpool at home and would have won us the game. He would have saved his Tottenham career.
Yeah,
but he didn't.
He would have.
But he's disrespected the team, the club, and most importantly, us. You don't do that. You don't, when Tottenham are playing Chelsea in a semi-final, no, it was a Premier League game. You don't do that. You don't do a stream of you making yourself look like an animal. You don't do that in any profession. whether you're a barista or a cocktail waitress or a plumber, if you're working, you work. He's supposed to be working. Yeah. So he's disrespected all of us. So am I upset that he's out the team? No. He'll go to Everton, he'll play one good game, and then he'll be on the bench for the next 6 months. Like, this is the mentality of the geezer. So it won't be weird seeing him in another shirt because he's earned it. He's earned relegation fodder status because that's where Everton could end up this year because they're poor.
Yeah. Do you know what the worst thing is? Do you know what the worst thing is, Ben? If he does play poorly, we don't get hardly any money off Everton.
I know.
He has to play 20 games to get 10 million. And then the other 30 million or whatever it is based on performances and stuff like that. And if he plays like he has been playing the last 3 years, we're hardly going to get anything for him.
Well, let's face it, we got no chance getting that extra 30 million then.
Yeah, I don't think so. No. I think we'll maximum 20 million.
Yeah,
I'll take 20 million for him. I'll take
I would as well.
For him.
I would as well. It's a 15 million pound profit.
And a pint of cider. I'd have one of those as well. Somerset.
Yes.
Right, we're at the end of the window. We're coming to the end of this transfer deadline stream. I just want to thank everyone who's come on tonight. I want to thank Mr. K, Ellie, everyone, Danny as well. Thank you for coming on, Danny. Really appreciate it, man. Hopefully I'll see you on the 13th as well. Hope you're going to the Wolves game, so I'm looking forward to meeting you, man.
Yeah, I actually go to 13th of Feb.
Yeah.
13th. Oh, yeah, I'm going. I think my girlfriend's coming with me as well. So.
All right. Well, I look forward to meeting you. Mark, thanks for doing the stream with us tonight, making your debut on a stream, and many more to come. And also my co-host for this evening, the Dapper Ben. And I just want to say thanks for everyone. There's 37 people still watching. Do you know why? I do not know.
It's my dapperness.
Yeah, it's your dapperness. We've got a few things to go through. And then I'm actually taking a few days off. So in the morning, you will see Ben and Coover in the morning. Talking about the transfer deadline day, I suppose, and I don't know what Coover's got planned.
I can come on.
And I'll be back probably at the end of the week
welcome.
after. Yeah, I'm having a few days off. Right, we've got last one. We'll actually bow out with Coover 99. And
I
this
think
one's for you, Danny. So go on, Ben, read out the last question.
Question. Bun. Can you lure a spider out of his hutch using a cherry bakewell slice and hit it with an espadrille? Or do you need a lemon drizzle slice and a solid Dutch clog to get the job done?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Coover. I think we might be able to manage luring the spider out with a what was it? A cherry bakewell?
Cherry bakewell slice.
Yeah, cherry bakewell slice. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. I think that's what I would do. That's exactly what I'd do, Coover. I think you should give it a try.
Yeah,
and tell me what the results are.
We should have streamed yesterday from the coffee company, Danny. I don't know why we didn't do it.
I know, we should have. I know. We did say it, didn't we, as well?
Yeah, another time.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna come back a couple times before Daigle goes back as well.
Yeah, we need to do that.
And I can't wait to go to your coffee shop when I come over.
Oh, you need to.
Yeah.
I bought some coffee off Ben yesterday. Quite a few bags of coffee yesterday.
And thank you for that, sir.
No problem. I've got my my proper grinder coming tomorrow, which will be good. So looking forward to trying some of that properly tomorrow.
And then we've got Ben Coover's comment. It says, "Go on, Ben, read that out for us."
Wrong bun. Drizzle all the way.
Yeah, lemon drizzle for me, but I think what's best for the spider is a cherry bakewell, mate. Sweeter. Yeah. They like a bit of sweetness, they do, don't they?
I still loved the stream we were on, and Sean come on. He went, "Bam," and it was like I was thinking, "What?" He went,
and then
"Bam."
Daddy was like, "Sean," and he's like, "Bun."
Oh god!
Right, Cody Mack came out the woodwork. Sean.
Yeah. Danny, plug where people can find you, sir, and plug your channel. Go on.
We all know.
Yeah, so everyone probably knows, whoever's still in the chat. But you can find me on Tottenham on Tour with the one and only Brian Daigle, Brian Ireland, and Adam Clark. So we've got actually a mental health stream on Thursday. I believe it's at 8 or 8:30. I'm not sure if I've confirmed the time yet, but that's going to be a really, really big stream. And we're going to be doing, I think we're going to have a Just Giving page as well for that, because we've got some really big people who are coming. There's a lady who's a CEO of a huge charity for mental health that relates to football. And we've got some really good guests coming on. So people are going to delve into a lot of stuff about mental health, and people are going to talk about their experiences. And so it'd be really good for a lot of people to come and support. And we're going to be donating all the proceedings that we earn from donations, super chats, whatever it is, to charities. So please come and join on Thursday. That'll be a really good stream.
We definitely will be there, and I'm looking forward to watching that, Danny. Really am. Being suffering mental health myself and a few other things, I know exactly what it's like. So it isn't easy out there for some people.
Yeah, I have as well. I have as well, Dermot. I have as well, and at times still do at times. So it's a good thing for everyone, because it's going to be a lot of advice on there, a lot of support, and it's just good to talk about things openly. So I think it's going to be a really, really good stream for people.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been diagnosed recently with autism and ADHD and Asperger's syndrome, so, and as well mental health. So sometimes doing these streams can be a bit nerve-wracking, but
you do very well at it, mate. Honestly.
No, really when if I see the likes of you and Dave Harris and Jack Kanicki and Brian as well. Brian's my biggest inspiration.
Yeah,
him and Dave Harris are my two biggest inspirations.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Also Coover and Phil as well. Them two are gents.
Yeah, I agree.
Mark, where can people find you, sir? Probably on here, isn't it?
Yeah. Normally, if I can sneak in.
Yeah, of course, you're welcome anytime.
Yes, I know.
And before we finish up with you, Ben, this has got to be said, and I'll say this now. This transfer window may be finished, and we may not have had the best transfer window, but everyone, please don't forget, get behind the Levy out brigade, because they are right. If we don't get behind the Levy out people, nothing will ever change for the future. So please get behind all the protests and everything else. that they do. Brian Daigle, Danny, Rez, all of them get behind them. Brian's been down there, 4 times this week, down at the Hotspur way, in the cold and everything. So please, everyone, get behind the Levy out. Don't buy anything in the club shops. Don't buy anything in the stadiums itself. Spend locally. Don't give Levy or Oynick any money whatsoever. Let's send them a message that they won't forget and they can't turn their back on. And finally, Ben, where can people find you, sir?
As usual, you can find me on Tottenham Tantrum Gold in the mornings with this week Kuva and Dermot and sometimes Phil Lattis if he's ever doing something. And you can find me every afternoon at 2 o'clock on The Coffee Company. We're just doing some regular streams, getting people out of the stressfulness of the world, and we're having some coffee on the way. And as Danny can testify, hopefully, I do know my stuff about coffee. So if you ever want to know about coffee, I am the place to go. And
100%.
And I'd love to dedicate my part of this stream to Mr. Bob Spur, who we finally saw on video camera yesterday. I still can't believe that he remembered my name after all this. He still was asking. I couldn't believe it personally. I only met him once, and he remembered who I was. So big up, Bob Spur. It's glad to see him starting to be able to talk, getting on the path to victory. We're all behind you. Everyone in the Tottenham army is behind you, and we hope you tell us to piss off ever so soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone agree with that one. Big up, Bob Spur. Right, we're going to end the stream now. Thank you very much for everyone watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's not been the greatest window, but
we've got each other.
Yeah.
And we're still Tottenham. So go on, Ben. What's them 2 famous words?
And as always, Levy out.
And
Levy out.
And you'll never beat the Irish.
Yeah, that's it. You never
English.
beat the Irish.